got it, and it sounds like the crowd might be in the game tonight.
I think so.
They were a little quiet here Friday, Jack. We need to have some noise here tonight.
And the Cubs are in a little bit of a hole here, and they need these people behind them. And I think they've come to get behind them tonight. I'm Jack Moore with Jim Moore, Mike Ferris back in the studios, and on Cable 12, Andrew Oje-Hager. And he wants to say hi to somebody.
I just wanted to say hi to my nephew Eric who's listening tonight.
All right, Eric, did you say?
Eric.
Eric the Red. Atta boy, Eric. Don't go to sleep. Wake up. We got a hockey game here, Jimmy, and it's going to be a good one. We're looking forward to it. Luke Lamont in net for North Bay. Art Stroney, better known as JR, in net for the Liskeard Cubs, the big guy. And when this guy gets hot, he's tough to beat because he's huge in there. Alec Kenbright. The other way around, eh? Right back. We're going to have some scores for you from Ryan Stewart here in a second as well. We are underway in this big game. Cubs down 1-0 in the best of 5. Ringler bringing it in over the Cub line. He's pinned to the boards. They wrestle along there, trying to kick it free. Hooked up to Krieger. Throws it in on goal. Lamont blocks it. Zafiris flattened his man in there. It comes right out in front of the North Bay goal, and Baldwin takes it away. Gets it up on the wing to Innes, the overtime hero on Friday night. He dumps it into the Cub zone, heads to the bench. Robin Boucher jumping onto the ice for the Choppers. He checks Zafiris at center. Now Timmy gets it back again. Slides it up for Krieger. He's poke checked. Seaman across to Gibson. High in the air into the North Bay zone. And here come the Trappers. Paquette, number 16. He had a strong game, I thought, the other night. Jim Paquette did for North Bay on the blue line.
It sure did.
Here's Rivard over the line. Works in, shoots, save, rebound, score! Sean Scott.
Oh, what a great play. Young Rivard made the turnover at the blue line, and Sean Scott made no mistake, and that's what the Cubs needed. They needed to get off to a good start here tonight, and they've done that, and that goal was scored with 18:56 left here in the first period, very early in the game, Jack.
Minute 4 into the period, and the Cubs break on top. Sean Scott, Stefan Rivard gets the... Stefan Rivard? Pierre Rivard. I'm going back a few years.
Yeah, you're going back.
I want to bring him back. I'm sure he'd love to come back and play. On the assist on the goal, and the Cubs quickly strike here and lead it 1-0. And as you said, Jim, that's what they needed. The crowd was a little tense there. They're a little more relieved now.
Sure.
And we are underway. Sean Scott, the goal scorer, turning at center, gets it back to Bain. Dumps it off to Rivard at center. He's tipped as he goes in over the line. Loses the puck, and back come the Trappers. And over the line is Viss. John Viss got Boucher going to the net. There's the pass right in front, and that got past everybody. Comes all the way out to the line. Kept in, though. In front of the net. Oh, right on. And Stroney comes up with a huge save off Viss. And he's going to hang on. Okay. And get a whistle.
We got a little action here at the side of the net, Jack, and the start of this game much different than the start of Friday's game. Both teams are flying out there, and they're taking the man, and I'll tell you, this is going to be a big one.
And Stroney just coming up with a huge save there. The North Bay player, Viss, all alone, stared him down, and couldn't get it by him.
That's got him in the game.
That's for sure. You can tell North Bay, even though they're down 1-0 in this game, as compared to Friday, playing with a lot more confidence. They figured now that they can play with this team. Something about a victory that'll just increase that confidence.
You're right.
Anello lets it go from the blue line off the leg, bounces out. Here's Alexander and McLean in over the line. Alexander lets it go, and he shot it high and wide over both top and net. Burnham after along the boards. Andy Burnham dumps it to the corner to McLean. Gets it back to Major. There's the shot. Pat save. Rebound right out in front of the net. And out come the Trappers. Evers had his shot blocked, and it comes back the other way quickly. McLean to Alexander. In over the line. Drops it back to Burnham. Slides it in towards the net. It's cleared away. Peterson kept it in at the blue line. Gets it back to Burnham. He floats one in towards the goal. Puck is loose. Shot in behind the net, and Evers will pick it up. He takes a look, just clears it off the boards to center. Brady Major dumping it right back in. Carrots around the far side. That's changing on the fly here as Hodge comes out. He's bodied along the boards by Zafiris. Jake Gibson, the Rookie of the Year in the Great North Region Hockey League, and over the line, drops it back, disappears. Then he had his shot partially blocked. Seaman keeps it in at the line. Hodge will take it in the corner for the Trappers. Baldwin can't come up with it. Comes to the near side, and Innes picks it up. Into the middle it goes to Lucente. He couldn't get anywhere with it. Now, there's a name I don't remember much from the other night, is Lucente. Here's Baldwin. Shot off the stick. Baldwin. Penalty coming up to the Cubs here. A slashing call.
Well, that's the first penalty of the game, Jack, and the shots on goal at this point are 4-3, and we've had a really good start to this game, and really there's been some good clean hits, nothing really dirty out there, and I just hope that we can keep this tempo up tonight and keep the game up at this level, because I noticed Claude Denemy changing his lines very quickly, and it looks like he's trying to keep this game quick.
So the Trappers go to the power play here with the 16:49 left in the first period. Cubs leading 1-0. And there's a shot right on off the stick of Filiatro, and Stroni stops. Baldwin behind the net to Lucente. Out in front it comes. Back behind the net it goes. Now Baldwin trying to jam it in. And Bain takes over in behind the net. He's going to crank it down the ice. 1:41 left in the North Bay power play. Again, coming it off towards the center. Tipped by Innes. Bain's there. His pass is knocked down by Innes. He carries it in over the line. He gets through, but the puck doesn't, and is shot back down the ice by the Cubs. 1:26 left in the North Bay power play. Cubs leading 1-0. Early first period. North Bay on this man advantage, and Schuler can't keep it in. Brown high in the air. Look out. I almost had her, Jimmy.
I sure had that one.
That's the second time in this series that you and I have had a puck come up here.
That's right. Well, a dandy start to this game, Jack. That's what we were looking for on Friday night. It didn't happen, but I'll tell you it's happening here tonight. Both teams are just flying.
Yeah, they're really skating. Boucher on this power play now. He's got Viss on one side and Schuler on the other. Burnham and Rivard out there. Burnham wanting his man behind the net in North Bay zone. Now come the Trappers. Viss dumps it in to the left of Stroni. It goes in behind the net. Major's there, cranks it around the boards. Boucher cuts it off. Major gets it back again, and this time he gets it out past the net. Burnham dives. Can't get to it. Now Schuler dumps it off to Boucher. He's got a man on the far side. Can't get it to him, and it's cleared out the center and down the ice. Penalty coming up here to North Bay as Rivard was dumped right underneath our broadcast location. Interference, the call.
And that penalty called with 39 seconds left in the Cub penalty, so the teams will play even for 39 seconds, and then the Cubs will have the power play. We've got 15:28 here remaining in the first period. 1-0 Cubs, and it's been a dandy start.
Sure has. So in 39 seconds, the Cubs will go to the power play for the first time in this game. Krieger out there now with Brown, Seaman, and Gibson on the points. Boucher in on the draw against Krieger to the left of Lamont. Krieger trying to find that puck in traffic, but it's stolen away by Boucher, and he cuts out the center. 2-on-2 with Viss in over the line. Nice move by Boucher. Walks in, passes it across, and it was blocked there nicely by Seaman. Good play by Jonathan Seaman to break that up. Boucher made a heck of a move. And now Viss is flattened at center ice. Here's Seaman to an open wing. Taken there by Dunford. Anello and Brown on the far side. Anello lost his stick. Cubs are now on the power play here. Seaman letting it go. Right on. Rebound in front of the net. Lamont's down and he reaches out and he grabs it. 118 left in this Cup power play.
Nice series of plays there, Jack, and Art Stroni's made some good saves already here tonight, and Boucher sure give Jake Gibson a little bit of trouble there. Jake was playing the puck, and you don't do that with a skater like Robin Boucher. Boucher made a very nice play. Cubs came up to the other end of the ice and could have very easily got the goal, but they didn't. And the face-off will be to the right of the North Bay now.
And Seaman saved the day, covered up for his buddy Jake and blocked that pass.
Sure did.
Puck in the North Bay zone. Filiatro battling there with Sean Scott and Zephyrus. Puck is loose along the boards. Hodge cranks it around the boards. Major will keep it in. He kicks at it, gets it to Scott, dumps it to the corner. Hodge will try his luck again. This time it's Duchesne tipping it down the ice. 57 seconds left in the Cup power play. They lead 1-0 here with 14:20 to go in period 1. Joyal. Oh, where did they score? Oh, what a bad break for Joyal. And those things happen. That puck just bounced off the North Bay player's skate up over Stoney's shoulder. It surprised him, and I don't know who that went on.
Well, actually, the puck was trying to be cleared by Joel, and he tried to clear the puck in front of the net. You don't do that. You put the puck up on the boards and out of there, and that's a break for the Trappers, a big break, because they didn't even have control of the puck or the play. Big break, and we'll see how the Cubs react to that.
That's a short-handed goal, and we'll wait for the official announcement. I don't know who they're going to give it to.
No fault to the goaltender on that.
No, I caught it completely by surprise. There's a long shot in on goal. They're going to give it to Baldwin. Now Duchesne trying to wrap around in the Cub zone. He's hammered into the net. And the net comes off, and we'll get a face-off in the Cub zone.
Well, it's sure been a quick game at this point tonight, Jack, and I'm going to tell you, I think we've got a bigger crowd here than we had Friday night, and it was a big crowd on Friday night.
It sure was, yeah. It was jammed in here tonight. This is a preview of all Ontario League, Jim.
Well, it sure is, and this is the kind of hockey that I hope we see.
Oh, it'd be great. And we'll have all the Cub games for you on CJTT that week. It'll be a busy week, but Jim and I will be here. Good Lord knows, and the Krypton guys. Here comes Krieger. Gets it up to Miller. He's checked at the line. Hodge for North Bay. Dumps it out to center. Miller has it again. Vicente takes it away. Clears it. Up still with the man advantage here for the next 10 seconds. Now here's Vicente stealing it at center. Shoots it in wide of the Cub goals. And Pierce can't corral it. Krieger will get it up to center. Jeff Krieger. Penalty to the Trappers is now over. Team's at even strength. Long shot in wide of the North Bay goal. The cat back there for it. He's going to skate it himself. Throws it over on the right side to Vicente. He's bumped by Gibson. Puck slides into the Cub zone where Seaman takes it in behind the goal. Schuler on the ice now. Bumping Seaman. Brown gets rid of it. Anello chops it back to center. Brown trying his luck now in over the line. Dumps it off to Krieger. Throws it into the slot area. And the Trappers will clear to center. Here's Boucher catching after that pass at center. Robin Boucher. And this was tied up behind the play. Down he goes and back come the Cubs. I think the Cubs were fortunate there. They didn't get a penalty, Jim. Anello gives it away. Here's Brown. Slides it through. Right in front it comes. And it's cleared away by LaPont. And now the North Bay player flattens real hard in front of the net. And there's going to be a penalty to the Trappers. A holding call.
Well, that puts North Bay short once again, and hopefully the same thing doesn't happen again as happened on the last short-handed situation. The Cubs need to score a goal now and get back in the driver's seat. We've got 12:39 left here in a 1-1 tie in the first period.
And as I was saying during the play, I thought Joel was very fortunate he didn't get a penalty just before that, because he was grabbing this coming up the ice, and I looked at the referee, and I think everybody kind of went, ooh, but it didn't happen. And now at the other end, North Bay takes a penalty, so the Cubs have to take advantage of this.
They sure do.
Krieger in on the draw. He's out there with Burnham and Scott up front. Major, Joel on the points. 2 minutes for roll. Cubs in control. Power play for the next minute 51. Joel, Scott right up front, right on, rebound. And the puck's there again and hangs on.
Well, the other thing too, Jack, is that there'll be a fair number of penalties in this game. Poirier does call quite a few penalties. He's a good referee, and what he'll have to do is make sure the penalties he calls are good penalties, because if you get too many of the other type of penalty, you're going to take the flow out of this game.
That's for sure. And we broadcasters like flow.
We sure do.
Filiatro dumps it in behind his net, and the face-off finish is there. Can't get it by Joel. Cubs have it again. Burnham. Man advantage Cubs. Now stolen away by the Trappers. Here comes Lucenti. He's got Ennis looking it over the line. Here's Ennis going right in on goal. And Stoney stopped him. Well, we have a penalty on the play.
and we talked about that before the game started, and our point on the Trappers was that they had to put the pressure on the Cubs defensemen in their end. They're doing that, and they're causing some turnovers.
Both teams have had their chances in this period. No doubt about that. And both goaltenders looking good here tonight. And I think if you're a Cup fan, you're glad to see that Mr. Stoney has made those saves.
There's a bit of relief out there.
I think so. Gibson behind the net to Seaman. Teams at even strength, training over the line. Zafiris tried to pick up that puck. Now he does off the boards. Trying to get by his man. Here's Seaman. Along the boards for Zafiris. Back for Seaman. Throws it towards the goal, tipped, and McLean got a stick on that, and Lamont had to stop it. There's a long pass, now a penalty behind the play. And I don't know who this is going to. It is going to the Cubs.
Well, it's another Cub penalty. This one an elbowing penalty to Tim Zafiris, and that puts the Cubs one man short. There'll be two men short 53 seconds from now, and we mentioned earlier that Poirier does call a lot of penalties, so we'll see how that affects tonight's game.
Well, we got a chance here. We'll mention Shane Stewart, former Cub, plays with the University of Alabama. They had their Tier 2 championships this weekend with Bemidji State from Minnesota, and they lost 3-2 and 4-2.
Well, that's pretty respectable.
Robin Boucher, the Filiatro in center. Menard on the far side, can't catch up with it. North Bay with the man advantage here. 11:19 to go in period one. It's a 1-1 tie. Scott for the Cubs, Baldwin for North Bay. Boucher in over the line. Robin Boucher in behind the Cub net. Wrap around the champion. Strode stops him and hangs on. And Mr. Boucher is flying out there tonight, is he not?
Well, he sure is, and the Cubs are going to have to pay a little bit more attention to Robin Boucher. I know it's easier said than done, but I think they can pinch him into the corners and take those scoring chances away.
Senti, Boucher, Filiatro, and Anello out there. It's a 4-on-3 situation, so lots of ice, and that's what Robin Boucher likes. North Bay wins it. Filiatro at the point. Waited way too long to take that shot, Jim, and he gave Brown all kinds of time to get over there and block that. Nice play by Seaman as Anello tried to slide it through to Boucher, but he broke that up. And over the line comes Filiatro, checked by Seaman. Seaman takes it to the corner. They bump. Back to the point to Boucher. Boucher over to Anello. Throws it in on goal. Seaman takes it away, and he'll find an opening. Got out though to the line and goes. Anello kept it in. Now here's Innes off the bench. He runs into Lucente and goes down, and Gibson comes up with the puck. Turning away from his man in the corner, Jake Gibson. Banned on his clearing attempt. Now Brown gets it, and he gets it out to center. North Bay with a two-man advantage for the next 5 seconds, but the Cubs doing a great job of killing this off. Gibson cranks it around the boards, and Joel into the penalty box, and gets it to Brown. Here's Dave Brown, one-on-one with Filiatro. Brown around his man, in on goal! And the net comes off, and the puck went up over top the net, so we get a whistle. 27 seconds left in the North Bay power play.
And 9:59 left here in the first period, and a good start to this, the second game. The Trappers are leading the series 1-0, and the two teams will play in North Bay on Saturday and possibly Sunday. Well, it will be Sunday for sure. Well, not quite. I made my prediction.
Yeah, if your prediction comes true, there will be a Sunday game. 1-1 the score. Good first period. North Bay with this man advantage for the next 24 seconds as they try to come out of their own zone. Menard has it. Dumps it in. Strode under the net, clears it to the point. Kept in there by Dunford. Into the corner it goes. Menard tied up. Puck comes free. Menard along the board, looks in front of the Cub net, takes a shot. Oh, and Strode stopped that. Paquette lets it go right on. Rebound in front of the Cub goal, and Major's there. He clears it away, and the Cubs have killed off the penalty. Zafiris out of the box, in over the line. Tim Zafiris in, shoots. Oh, what a save by Lamont. Then he covers up the rebound. Puck squirted loose after the whistle. We'll have a face-off in the North Bay zone.
And both teams back at full strength, and the crowd a little bit noisier here tonight, and that's good to see. and the game has been very wide open, very well played up to this point. There's been a couple little mistakes here and there, Jack, but you have to expect that. Goaltending has been excellent.
Sure has. At both ends of the ice. Cubs send out Blaine, Burnham, and McCrank. Up front, Joel and the Bane on the points. Boucher on the ice again, taking the draw for North Bay. He wins it. Filiatro turning in the corner. Here he comes. On the left side to Schuler. Right wing pass for Biss, cut off, and McLean slides it up to Burnham. He tips it by his man, but it's cleared back to the Cub line. Joel inside his own blue line, backpedaling, throws it up on the wing. Here's McLean picking it up off the boards and over the line. Curtis McLean dropping it for Burnham. He's pinned to the boards by Schuler. Stays with it though. Dumps it back along the boards. Now he'll pick it up again. Tried to get it out in front for McLean, and Lodge was there. He clears it around behind the net to the near side. Joel and Schuler bump. And the Trappers get it out down the ice into the Cub zone. No icing. Bane's back there to pick it up. His pass from McCrank was out of his reach, goes down the ice. Filiatro in behind the North Bay goal. He just gets rid of it off the stick of the center. Lucenti chasing it in there along with Baldwin. Joel gets back and fires it down the ice, and that is icing against the Cubs. 8:15 to go in the period, Jim. We're still tied at 1, and what a different hockey game this is from Friday night, is it not? This first period.
You're right. This is the kind of game we expected Friday night's game would be. It wasn't. It is here tonight. Shots on goal are 12-9 in favor of the Cubs, and a dandy game up to this point. We're looking forward to it the rest of the way.
That'd be great. And there is a sellout crowd here for sure tonight. It was big Friday, it's bigger tonight. We think, anyway. And then we'll walk the point in the Cubs zone, throws it in front, knocked down by Seaman. He gets it up to Miller. Miller into the middle of Krieger. He's checked. Back the other way comes Lucenti. Taking his move on Seaman. Lucenti avoided a check from Zafiris, lost his stick. And Seaman comes back the other way. That pass is deflected at center. Now here's Lucenti again, dropping it off for Innes. He's checked. Krieger for the Cubs. Both checking in the center ice area. They have not much room to move. Long shot in on Lamont. He just drops it behind the net, and Nello played it off Zafiris, gets it back again. Comes to the point. There's a shot. Ooh, that drifted wide of the North Bay goal. Major throws it into the North Bay zone where Nello will just turn and fire down the ice. They're saying no icing. Cleared it in the corner. Evers couldn't catch up to it. Here comes Zafiris. Tim Zafiris over the line. Along the blue line. Zafiris throws it on goal. Right on. Lamont makes the save. Good play there, I think, by Timmy. Trying to catch the goalie going the other way, and it was a good screen there.
Tim's in this game tonight. You know, Jack, Tim tried to check Lucenti in the Cub end here just a short while ago. He missed him, not by much, but I'll tell you, the next time Lucenti got the pass, he looked before he took the pass. And that's the value of having Tim Zafiris play his game. He's going to make those guys hesitate and look around.
Luckily for Lucenti, he was looking.
You're right.
Here's Major from the face-off. Let's go through a screen, and that hits somebody's rear end in front, and that'll hurt. Good thing it wasn't Andrew. Woo. Here comes Evers for the Trappers. Gets it out to Duchesne. He's tied up and knocked down in front of the Cubs bench, and Evers comes away with it for North Bay. Menard taken away by Peterson. Brown dropping it there for Rivard. Back to Brown. In front of the net. Scott right on. And the save by Lamont. John Scott on the puck behind the net. Gets it to Rivard. Trying to get it out in front. He's checked. And Filiatro comes away with it. Gets it to the line and out to center off Peterson's stick. Dunford inside his own line for the Trappers. Hits the referee. Menard's going to turn and slide it to center. And here's Alexander with a head of steam over the line. He's knocked down. Down goes Brown. Menard can't get it out. Alexander battling along the boards. Takes his man off the puck. Brown can't center it. Now Alexander will try to wrap around. He's checked. Back in behind the net it goes. Peterson will pinch in. Menard takes a whack at it and stays in. Dunford behind the net. Filiatro. He cranks it around the far side to Menard, and he's just going to get rid of it. And that'll be icing against North Bay. Cubs with some good hard work keeping the puck in the North Bay zone.
Absolutely, and that icing was a good play on North Bay's part because they were running around in their own end. They couldn't catch up to the puck. They had to get the pressure off, and they did. they iced the puck. But you know, Jack, the Cubs are playing much more physical here tonight. I like what I see out there. The intensity is there, and they've got that intensity back that we saw about halfway through the season.
McLean on the draw against Boucher to the right of Lamont. Puck sitting there in the face-off circle underneath some players. Boucher comes out with it, gets it up to Schuler. Runs into Joel, knocks him down at center, but Joel did his job and Schuler got nowhere. Schuler again trying to commit. Boucher now trailing the play. He's knocked off the puck there by McLean. Now Schuler bumps Bain into the corner. Trappers firing it back into the Cubs zone off the glove of Joel. He turns, fires it across. Bain got it to Burnham. Burnham has to backtrack right in front of the net for Joel. Schuler intercept that pass and he'll go to the bench. This to Boucher. He's checked by Burnham. This takes it away from Burnham and dumps it into the Cubs zone. Joel around behind the net. Joel gets it back again. Up on the right side to Burnham. Intercepted by Innes. Innes dumps it in from Baldwin. Now Burnham loses it to Ringler. Baldwin trying to get loose, and it's cleared away to center, and the Trappers dump it back in. They'll have to clear the zone. Joel behind his own net. Gets it up on the wing to Tim Safiris, and out he comes to center. Up to McLean and over the line. Drops it back to Burnham. There's the shot off the stick over the top of the net. It comes right back off the glass, bounces off the net, right into the glove of Lamont.
Oh, pretty good play, actually. The Cubs were having some trouble getting out of their own end, and North Bay were really pressing, and that seems to be working for the Trappers at this point. But what could happen, Jack, is they could get caught short-handed coming into their own end, and with the Cubs scoring the way that they normally do, it could cause a lot of trouble for them.
Face off to the left of Luke Lamont. Safiris will take the draw in there against Duchesne. From the draw, comes back to the point. Seaman throws it in on goal. That hit a skate and went through the crease area. Menard turns and throws it up the middle out of Boucher's reach, but won't have enough steam to go for icing. And Strony came up, put it right on the stick of Evers. Duchesne after it. He's tied up and Gibson comes away with it. Here comes Krieger, sliding it over to Miller. That's offside at the North Bay blue line. 4:08 to go in the first period. 1-1 our score. Sean Scott opened the scoring 1 minute and 4 into the period. And then Baldwin scored short-handed on a very fortunate bounce for him and for the Trappers.
Very fortunate.
As Joel tried to clear it, went off a skate up over Strony's shoulder. Caught him completely by surprise. I think caught everybody here by surprise. Cleared to center by the Trappers down into the Cubs zone. Gibson chasing it with Menard in hot pursuit. Menard takes it away, but Seaman's there. And Safiris is going to skate it out to center for the Cubs. Down the left side, winds up off the stick. Up. And off the glass. Into the corner it goes. Miller and Evers in there, and they're going to get a whistle as the players look at each other and do a little shoving there.
Not much going on there, Jack, but I just took a look up to the peanut gallery area and I noticed the big boys in the building, so I guess we're going to have some guests here at the end of the first. You might tell us about that.
He'll be here. I don't know if he's busy bringing somebody with him.
Well, I understand.
Okay, well, we'll get ready. I don't know if the audience is ready for this, but we are. Brevard on the draw against Boucher. Sitting there, ooh, and Brown took a shot from the face-off, and Lamont had to be sharp there. Brown in the corner. Gets it back to the point to Peterson. That shot goes wide of the net. Schuler is going to just tap it out to center. Major tried to clear it in. He hit Scott. Scott's got the puck. Got it to Brown, and Brown is hammered on the far side. Well, this North Bay team playing a lot different. Here's Visson over the line. He's got Schuler with him, and I don't know what he was thinking there. He took a real weak shot from a long way out. I don't even think he got hardly anything on it. He fell as he shot, and he had a man going to the net wide open.
I don't think he expected to get the puck, and secondly, I think he was having a look to see if anybody was around.
Boucher on the draw against Brevard. Boucher getting it back to Dunford. There's a long shot right on. Easy glove save for Strode. He's going to hang on to it. We'll have another face-off as we wind down this first period. 3:09 left in the first 20 minutes. We're still tied at 1.
And certainly no disappointment up to this point, Jack. It's been a great first period. The play's been fast. It's been very physical. Good scoring chances, good goaltending, and a great crowd.
From the draw, Dunford again at the point, right in on goal. Stoney to save, and it's cleared out to center. Paquette dumped it in, come right back out again. Now here's Boucher, chasing one into the Cub zone, makes a move on Joyelle. Tries to make a move on Bain, but he stood him up nicely. And getting in there to take the puck was Rivard. Rivard in behind the net. Around the boards it goes, blocked. Now he gloves it. Boucher taken off. Oh, and Boucher went into the boards and he's hurt. Joyelle hit him and he felt that one, getting up very slowly.
Well, pretty good check, Jack. He's shaken up a little bit, but I don't think the stick was up or anything. I think he's tired, and as we said before the game started, they have to pay attention to Boucher. Keep him tired. If you keep him tired, he's not going to hurt you on the ice.
And he's smiling at the Cup bench as he goes by.
Oh, absolutely. He's not hurt.
Somebody said something to him, and he just kind of looked over. The things that we can't let you hear on the radio. Right, Andrew?
But we might when Mike's here.
Yeah. Here comes Joyelle to center. Dumps it in. 2:29 to go in the period. Lamont out of the net. It comes right in front, and Paquette's there to save the day for the Trappers, and Baldwin gets rid of it to center. Bain. Here's Innistown back inside his own line. Paquette looking for somebody to pass it to. He has to skate by Burnham. High pass over everybody down the ice it goes, and that's icing against the Trappers. I don't think he meant to do that, but that's the way it worked out.
I don't think he did. He wanted just to sort of flip that into the Cubs' end and hopefully put the pressure on in there. 2:09 left here in the first period. The score is tied 1-1, and the Trappers do lead the series 1-0.
And I want to remind everybody we have a winner in our Cubs trivia.
Oh, good.
And we'll tell you who that is in the second intermission, and that person has won Air Canada Regional tickets, courtesy of Northern Mobility, Northern Telephone. Stay tuned to the second intermission for the winner. And of course our Chuck-a-Puck winner too. And you are tonight.
I was wrong. Right.
You know who beat you, right?
Yeah, I know.
Kathy Deneby was the winner.
We had a little chat about it as go out and see them.
You let her know, did you?
No, I didn't see her, but I was the only people who saw them.
Yeah, she knocked yours out of there, Andrew, no doubt. Filiatro in behind the net. Stopped by Burnham. Andy Burnham in the corner, looking in front of the North Bay goal. He can't get it out. Fighting with two players there. Vicente avoids a check. Here's Joyelle. Whoa, he cranked that one. Sure screen. In front of the net it comes, and McLean couldn't get a stick on it. Got with pressure here with 1:46 to go in the period. Trappers trying to get it out. Joyelle will keep it in along the boards, kicking at it. Burnham in there to help out. Hodge goes down. Burnham trying to work his way out. Hodge recovered and checked him, and it's shot around behind the net to the far side. Bain's there to keep it in. McLean takes a bump. McLean in behind the North Bay goal. Burnham trying to catch up. He's got a long reach. Here's McCrank and Baldwin on the far side. North Bay just getting a hold of it now. Down the ice it goes as the Cubs put on the pressure here in the dying minutes of period one.
And North Bay going to the bench, and they look tired, I'll tell you. That was a long shift for those guys. And Jack, I was wondering about that Chuck-a-Puck. I guess Kathy wouldn't practice that after the Cubs
I
practice.
bet you she does. I know one thing. She didn't share it with Flo. That's the first thing I asked him tonight. Not a chance, he said. It ain't happening. Now, Andrew, if you would have won, would you have shared with your buddies up here?
Probably not.
Could you hesitate
You know who would have gotten half.
Could you hesitate a little more on that answer just to make us feel good? No, ain't happening. From the draw, Cubs keep it in the North Bay zone. Blocked. Krieger tries to turn and shoot. Here's Innes trying to get to it, and he will for the Trappers, and he throws it over to an open wing where Gibson, he missed it. Krieger back into the North Bay zone. Lamont out to play it. Brown fires it off the boards and behind the net. Lamont caught out of the net there, and Zafiris had to catch up with that. He couldn't get around in front. Here's Krieger in the corner. Right out in front it comes, and the Trappers are ready to clear. Here comes Paquette, 2-on-2 with Menard. Takes a shot off Seaman's stick. Drifts in wide of the Cup goal. North Bay just backing off basically here now. 28 seconds to go in the period. 1-1 tie. Now here's Boucher stealing from Gibson, but he's tied up by number 5, and down he goes, and the Cubs will come back the other way. Seaman skating it in over the North Bay blue line. Drops it back to Safiris. There's a shot right on. Rebound, and right to the crease. And Boucher with 8 seconds left. Skates it to center, takes a look at the clock. Slides it out. Here's Duchesne, and Strode stopped him. With about 2 seconds to go, Duchesne walked right in on a breakaway, and Strode robbed him. What a way to end the period.
What a way to end the period for sure, Jack. And I've got the shots on goal, 18 for the Cubs and 14 for the Trappers. The period ends 1-1, and Cubs having a little trouble in their own end.
That's right. And for you, those of you watching on Cable 12, we'll take a break and be back with the second period after this timeout.
I think we have a bigger crowd in here tonight. They're still filing into their places to start this period. Upstairs is just jammed by the look of it from here. And I'll tell you, that's an added a lot of seats into the game. Well, here we go, and we're looking for a big second period.
This is the gravy part of doing hockey games.
It sure is.
Getting to the playoffs and being able to do this. Some of those Friday nights we spent up here during the season seemed awful long. But it was worth it to get here. We are underway, all tied at 1. Second period action, the Trappers and the Cubs. Game 2, the Cubs trail 1-0, so this is a big game here tonight. Oh, there's a shot from center ice that had a lot of mustard on it. And I'll tell you, Strode had to be careful there. I'm not quite sure he even saw it. Boucher back inside his own line. Oh, he fanned on his clearing pass. Krieger walks in. Safiris! And right on. Lamont stopped him. And the puck seemed to get stuck in some water there, and that opened up a good chance for the Cubs, Jim.
Well, I'll tell you what's happened. It looks like Claude has put a checker on to Boucher. It was McLean when he's out there, and it looked like it was Krieger this shift, and that created the turnover, and that is a good play, and that's the type of thing you have to do to control Boucher, who is a very good mobile hockey player for North Bay.
Lamont comes up big as Safiris walked into one about 10 feet out. On the face-off, Leandro comes up with the puck for North Bay, high in the air. Worked out, bounces off the glass into the Cub bench. Claude Denemy hanging onto his toupee there, making sure that it didn't lose that.
And the only thing that Jeff Krieger is going to have to be a little careful about is that he doesn't take any cheap penalties, because Boucher has taken a couple spins tonight where he looked like he was trying to draw the penalty.
The good players will try that, won't they?
And succeed.
Billy Barber was one of the best at it. Here's Safiris, walks in, and he fired that wide. Seaman dumps it to the corner. Hodge for North Bay will fire it around the near side. This is there, and he clears it out to center. Knocked down by Seaman. Gets it over to Jeremy Miller. High in the air to the North Bay zone. Gloved down by Filiatro. Backhanded along the boards. Miller intercepts it, throws it through the slot area. This chops it off the boards to center. Boucher with Krieger all over him, trying to catch up to it. Can't do so, and back come the Cubs. Tim Safiris fires that wide. Gibson pinches in along the boards, and this comes away with it. And out come the Trappers, 3-on-2 to center. Innes in over the line, drops it back for Boucher, trying to get it back for Innes, and the Cubs break that up easily, and back they come. Gibson, his pass for Brown was out of his reach. He and Anello are going behind the net, down they go. Gibson in there, centered it in front of the net. Oh, and Rivard had to go off the heel of his stick, and out comes Piquet for North Bay. He looks in front, lets it go. Strode the bad save. And picking it up in the corner is Sean Scott. He dumps it to center, and here's Brown in over the line with Rivard going to the net, and the shot goes wide. Rivard trying to center it. That's blocked. Comes to Peterson at the line. He lets it go, and he hits Scott with that shot. Baldwin for the Trappers gets it to the line and not out. Peterson right in front, and Brown was tied up, couldn't get a stick on it. Now Rivard behind the net. He's got Scott in front, and he couldn't get it out in front. And here's an Ello for the Trappers. Off Baldwin's skate. He battles for it. Brown comes up with it. Dave Brown in the corner. Looks in front, dumps it off to Scott. Scott centered it right out in front of the net. Bouncing, puck knocked down, and out comes Baldwin for the Trappers. Long shot, rubbed down by Stroni. Out of the net he goes. One hands it along the boards to Rivard, to Scott, to Brown. Back for Scott, it was behind him. Cleared, not out. Peterson around behind the net. Good action here as we go end to end. A long time without a stoppage. Hodge in the corner. He throws it up the middle, off a stick, up and out of play. 17-12 left here in the period, 1-1, and we had a long stretch there. Boy, that's a way to get a game moving along quickly.
A great start to the second period. The first 3 minutes end to end. And actually the shots on goal, 2 for the Trappers, 1 for the Cubs. 17-12 left here in the second period. The score is deadlocked, 1-1.
Duchesne and McLean on the draw, right in the center ice area. Bouncing puck. Trappers come up with it. There's Menard, long shot, rebound. Here's Evers right in, and stopped by Strode. Good job by Andy Burnham tying him up. Menard for the Trappers, dumps it into the corner. Joel's there, tried to get it up. He does to McLean. McLean off the boards, tried to get it to Burnham. That was picked off. Duchesne knocked down. Stays with it though. Gets it over to Evers, in over the line. Evers knocked down. Duchesne backing up the play, will carry on. No, he's going to take a shot right on. Rebound. Here's Filiatro through a screen, high and wide. Hodge at the point. Can't keep it in. McLean will take it out. Burnham catching up on the play, trying to work his way through. He's bodied off the puck, and the Trappers come away with it. They get it to center. Menard, checked by Joel. Chopped back out to center ice by North Bay. Here's Bain. Throws it to the open wing. It's Fierce over there to pick it up. His pass up the middle is cut off. Hodge backhands it high in the air down to the Cubs zone. Bain and Bisco to the corner. To the left of Stroni. Try to center it. Fierce comes up with it. Clears it away from the front of the net. Down the ice it goes. Miller hustling right on Filiatro, and they're going to go to the boards. Miller centered it, but nobody was there but Hodge. He turns and fires it around the boards. Not out. Joel shoots it right back in. Lamont will play it. Schuler chops at it. Knocked down by Joel. Schuler again will try his luck to get it out. This time it gets by Joel, and Krieger's there. Shoots it into the left. To the right of goaltender Lamont. And the Trappers will get it back out to center. Now here's Boucher trying to catch up to one. Bouncing puck. Seaman turns and takes it away. Gets it to Brown. Slides it up for Safiris. On the boards he turns, drops it back. Here's Seaman walking in, and he took a little too long to decide what he wanted to do. Brown battling for it. Fierce takes Denford to the boards. Comes in front of the net, and the Trappers will get it out off a skate to center. Gibson shoots it in. Comes changing. Trappers trying to do the same. There's a bad pass. Scott knocks it down. The Cubs in control. Brown in the corner. Out to Scott. Right on. Rebound. Cleared away. Here's Steven off the boards. A knuckler. Knocked down in front of the net. And Lucente gets it out to Baldwin at center. Mitch Baldwin in over the line. Trying to cut around Major. He goes down. Couldn't get the shot away. Centered by Innes. Taken away by Major. Backing around the boards and goes to the line. Not out. Now Seaman and Scott get all tied up. Lucente walks in and he shot it up over the top of the net. Penalty coming up here to the Cubs.
Cubs having a little trouble in their own end once again, and the North Bay team pressuring them very well. The Trappers out shooting the Cubs 5-2 here early in the second period. Cubs will play short for 2 minutes. Greg Major goes to the box. 14:09 left here in the second period. The score is still deadlocked at 1-1, but the Trappers have had the better scoring chances in the second period.
And as I said in the first period, as time goes on, you can see North Bay playing with a little more confidence. and I hadn't seen that from them through the regular season games of the year. This is going to be a great series, no doubt about that. Lucente and Zafiris go to the corner. North Bay on the power play with 14 minutes even left here in the period. 1-1 to score. Here's an Ella at the point. Lets the wrist shot go. Stroney saw it through the screen and hangs on for a face-off.
Pretty smart play by Anello from the point there. He didn't blast that shot. He sort of lifted it towards net, looking for the deflection. Stroney played it very, very well.
Lucente against Zafiris again to the left of Stroney. 1:45 left in this North Bay power play. They win the draw, and Ello from the blue line lets it go right on. And Stroney corrals that rebound.
1:40 left in the penalty, Jack. 13:49 left in the period, and the Cubs are going to make changes here. The Gibson looks like he's coming out, but on second thought, it looks like he isn't. And now he is, so here he goes. I think he's getting a little instruction.
That's right,
there.
yeah, he had to go back.
Well, you can't take a chance. You're playing a man short, 1-1 game.
Innes on the draw now against McLean. Again, the Trappers win it, and Ello throws it across. Here comes the shot. Oh, the save, the rebound, and Stroney grabs it and hangs on.
Well, I'll tell you, Art Stroney's earning his pay out there tonight.
That was a nice save, and he was alert enough to find the rebound.
It sure was. That was a dangerous scoring effort from the North Bay Trappers, and the Cubs need to kill off this penalty.
Filiatro letting that go from the blue line. Cubs have to win the face-off here. They've been losing the last 3 or 4, and North Bay getting the chances. And they do win this one, and Gibson will head behind the net with it. And he'll fire it out and down the ice. 1:26 left in the net advantage. McLean up there now, forechecking on Filiatro, giving him fits behind the net. First, McLean doing a great job. Lucente now tips it out to center. Burnham has it, though. Cubs short-handed, but they're controlling the puck at this point of the penalty. Now Lucente has it for North Bay. Dumps it to the line. Seaman knocks it down, and then it's called offside at the North Bay blue line.
The other thing that I noticed here tonight, Jack, the puck is not taking, or doesn't seem to be taking as many crazy bounces as we saw Friday night. It was just a bizarre affair here on Friday night. Everything happened.
Yeah, the ice seemed to be a little softer on Friday for some reason.
Be careful, the Bears here.
Yeah, I think it's a little cooler tonight. Isn't it going to win?
Could be.
I'm not afraid of him. Are you?
Well, sometimes.
I'll take that guy on. Get my buddy Preston Kozak after him, and that'll be the end of the Bear. Dumped into the Cub zone. 56 seconds left in the man advantage for North Bay. We're all tied at 1 here. And Ello has all kinds of trouble on the blue line. He can't keep it in, and out it comes to center. Paquette comes up to Schuler, gives it away, and Seaman will clear it in. That was off Dave Brown's stick. Ooh, and Lamont and Ello got a little crossed up there. Now out comes Paquette. In over the Cub line, to the corner he goes. Couldn't center it. Joel comes away with it. Now Brown will turn and fire it off towards down to the North Bay zone. Cubs doing a good job of killing this off. 23 seconds left in the Trapper power play. Here's Paquette now up on the boards on the wing to Menard. Pulls it across. Nobody's there. Anello will hustle over there and just backhand it to the Cub line. Seaman gets rid of it. Down the ice it goes. 4 seconds left. That should just about do it. Jim and Zafiris almost steal it. Now here's Brown. Zafiris to Brown right in front. And he couldn't get a stick on it. Here comes Menard back the other way for the Trappers. Has a little trouble at center. Gets it to Boucher and over the line. There's a quick wrist shot right on. Stroney stops it, dumps it off for Zafiris, who flips it high in the air. And I think that hit something up there, did it not?
I believe it did. They're going to call the face-off in the Cubs end to the left of goaltender Stroney. And I'll tell you something, when you got Brownie forechecking at the other end of that ice, you better not try and carry the puck out.
That was, they almost came up with one there.
Great second period, great start to the second period, great first period. Looks like we're going to have a dandy all night, Jack.
Let's hope so. This is great for the ratings. In behind the net. In the Cubs zone, Zafiris now bumping his man along the boards. Comes to the line, Filiatro dumping it back in. Here's Major. Gets it up to Krieger. Rolling puck. He one-hands it up to Miller. Couldn't catch up with it. Hodge turns, fires it off the boards. Krieger can't find it. Now Miller fires it around behind the North Bay goal. Lamont will stop it there for Filiatro. He can't get the puck to sit down either. Now here we go with that bouncing puck again. We jinxed it. Cubs keep it in. Zapiris in the corner trying to center it. Fanned on that. Comes to the line. Not out. Cubs keeping it in. Miller battling here. Now it's taken away by Ringler. Ringler in over the cup line working against Peterson. He goes down. Major moves over there. Battling along the boards. Puck underneath the North Bay player. Now it comes free. And here comes the center. Miller. Miller, Krieger, Zapiris catching up on the wing. Tried to get it across. Puck's loose. Zapiris picks it up. Back to Peterson. There's a shot. Knocked down in front. Here's Zapiris. Major's going to walk into one. Now high drive. Lamont takes it shoulder high and hangs on.
No, he didn't walk into that. He went into that at about 100 miles an hour.
He ran into that?
He sure did. I'll tell you, that was a big, big stop by Luke Lamont in the Trapper net. Big stop.
He took that one high, go upside.
Everybody's sort of sitting waiting for something to happen here, Jack.
I think they realize that this is going to be one heck of a series. It's going to be close all the way.
That's right, and boy, we're looking for a dandy.
This is what playoff hockey's all about. This is what you expect. There's a shot right on in front of that. Now Scott! Oh, and he shot it wide. Brown wrapping it around right through the crease, and Rivard couldn't get a stick on it. Seaman keeping it in along the boards. Rivard behind the net. Now Brown centered it out front. Scott trying to get loose. They jam away. It comes right into the crease, and Lamont grabs it through a maze of skates and hangs on. Good pressure by the Cubs. And I think we have a penalty coming up here.
Yeah, it looks like we're getting a call. Actually, the penalty was after the play, and the North Bay Trapper will take the penalty. I can't get the number yet, but well, it's number 19, Vicente, and he'll take the penalty. And that was the chap that we mentioned earlier was sort of taking a little look around to make sure he didn't get that hard check.
So the Cubs go to the power play with 10:18 left here in the second. We're all tied at 1. The goal scorers in the first period, Sean Scott for the Cubs and Mitch Baldwin for North Bay. Rivard, Brown, and Scott stay out there for this power play. And they blew the whistle saying they weren't set right or something on going on.
A little bit of a false alarm there, Jack.
Brown and Baldwin on the face-off. Cubs win it, and Scott's in control. Sean Scott in the corner. Gets it back to the point to Seaman. Back along the boards to Scott. Tried to center it. Intercepted and dumped the center by the Trapper. Intercepted before checking. Seaman has to skate it himself. Puts it on Filiatro's stick. He gloves it to the line and out to center. And Gibson will catch up with it inside his own line. Gets it to Brown. Brown to Rivard. Off his stick, he'll chase it into the corner. Gets it to Brown, who turns, tries to get it back to the point. He's pinned to the boards, and Innes gets it off the boards, past Gibson, down the ice. 1:22 left in this Cub power play. Innes up there forechecking, breaking up that play. And now Baldwin. Long shot, gloved by Stroney. Off his glove, actually. In behind the net it goes, and Scott back in his own zone. Here's Seaman in behind his net, trying to set up in this power play. A minute left in the man advantage for the Cubs as they come to center. Rivard in over the line, dumps it around behind the net. Lamont out to play it. Dumps it back the other way in the corner. Boucher flattened along the boards by Scott. He falls over his man, and it hops off of Seaman's stick to center. Now Boucher down the ice with it. 38 seconds left in the Cub power play. Here they come to center. Tim Zapiris in over the line. Zapiris cuts to the middle. Oh, he was flattened and he got the shot away, and Lamont had to make a good save.
Well, good check there, Jack. Good play. The Trappers really not having a lot of trouble penalty killing here on this particular penalty. The shots on goal right now, I've got the Trappers in the second period with 11 and the Cubs with 7.
Yeah, the shots are a lot closer here tonight than they were the other night. Bit of a different game for sure. Now here's the Trappers coming out to center. Boucher's got a partial break. Lets it go. Here's the Fierce back to Krieger. In front of the net, deflects off a skate right into Lamont, and he's sharp and makes the save. And now I think Burnham's going to go.
Burnham gets the penalty, and number 12, Anello from North Bay took the dive, so that will give North Bay the power play in 5 seconds. We'll see what the call is. Well, that's going to bring the crowd to life for sure, Jack.
This is a
4-minute penalty.
Whoa, a 4-minute jobby.
Now that's an undisciplined penalty. Just can't afford those kind of penalties. Poirier's called here all year. They know how he referees. He calls a good game. He calls a lot of penalties, and you can't take penalties after the play.
You know, in this game, though, we've had 9 penalties total.
It's been a clean game.
Yeah, it sure has. And here come the Trappers, Anello. They have the man advantage now for the next 3 minutes and 51 seconds. Behind the net, Hodge in his own zone. McLean right on him. Turns and fires it to Vicente. Alexander over there breaks that up. Anello trying to get away from McLean. McLean doing a great job up there, Jim. North Bay can't get out of their own end. They just keep firing it around. And the Cubs don't mind that. Oh, Major moved up and took a run at his man. Puck's coming the other way, though. Here's Anello trying to work his way in and slides right into Stoney. And he'll hang on, so we'll get a face-off in the Cubs zone with 3:19 left in this North Bay power play. 7:42 in the period, 1-1 the score.
Been a good second period. We keep saying that, but I think everybody's happy to see the kind of game that we're seeing here tonight. Good skating, good checking, good hitting, good goaltending, and a 1-1 score. You can't get much better than that.
That's for sure. And of course, the great thing about this is we're going to see these two teams play again in the Air Canada Regionals in a couple of weeks.
You've got it.
From the face-off, in the Cubs zone, North Bay in control. This tried to center, blocked by Seaman. This still with it though in the corner. Dumps it off to Lucente. Back to Filiatro. Here takes the shot into the corner to Lucente. Comes back to Piquet. Weak shot right to the net. They try to jam it in the short side, and Stoney will have none of that. Freezes it for a face-off.
2:58 left in the penalty, and a little scrum there at the behind the Cub net, but no damage done. There's going to be no call here. The face-off will be to the right of the goaltender, Stoney. Cubs will make some changes. 7:21 left in the second period. Score stays the same, 1-1. That's a lot different than what we saw on Friday.
Yeah. What really amazes me is the shots. As I look at your sheet, the closeness of the shots of this hockey game right from the start. And that was just the opposite on Friday, where the Cubs had a big edge. Here's Piquet at the blue line from the face-off. Power play North Bay for the next 2:53. Andy Burnham in the penalty box. Here's a long shot in front, knocked down, and the Cubs are going to clear. Joel. He's got Brown breaking. Throws it in. Brown falls as he chases it to the corner. Filiatro touches the puck, and
Not sure what that call was. I guess it was offside.
Delayed offside?
Yep. It couldn't have been icing, we knew that.
Yeah.
Too far up the ice.
That's doing a pretty good
Still
job here.
2:40 on the penalty, Jack. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, it is, yeah. They're going to have to work very hard to kill this off. No doubt. I didn't even bother saying who was going in there because I knew they were getting thrown out. Schuler on the face-off with Securis. Every time I do that, I say they chuck the guy. Filiatro in behind the net. Now North Bay setting up with this man advantage. Main pinched up. And here's Boucher trying to catch up to a puck at center, but Joyel's there long before he is, and he fires it back down the ice. Piquet. In behind his net, Krieger hustling in there after him. Piquet's going to skate right in front of his own goal. Having trouble with the puck. Gets it up on the wing to Ennis. He's bumped by Joyel, and Krieger takes over. Back for Bain. Down the ice it goes. And now we have 2 minutes left in this 4-minute North Bay power play. So the Cubs halfway home on this one. There's a pass up to Ennis off the stick and down into the Cubs zone and goes. Pierce is going to fire it, not out. Krieger will try and he'll get it out. Krieger to center, all by himself and over the line. That's Stop. Here's Bain moving in, and he got a good shot away. Krieger on the far side was hammered, and we're going to get a penalty to North Bay.
Well, we could very easily get a double penalty here. I'm not sure he's going to call a double, but I'll tell you, I could hear the slash all the way up here, and it's going to be roughing. Number 6 from North Bay, Innes, will get the penalty, and it will be a 2-minute penalty for roughing.
And you know, this game has been so close, and I just thought on that 4-minute, well, almost 4-minute penalty, it's not over yet, minute 40, the game seems to start changing. The Cubs seem to take that adversity and use it to their advantage. And North Bay seemed to be very lackadaisical, nonchalant about this power play, like they was going to be easy, and they stopped skating, and they weren't doing the things they were doing earlier. So this could be a turning point for the Cubs.
4 minutes can do that to you.
Here's Peterson from the point, takes the shot, still in control, throws it across to Major. He's going to walk into one, right on, and Willett stops it and then bounces on the rebound.
But that happens a lot, Jack, at any level of hockey. You get a 5-minute major penalty called against the other team, or you get a double minor penalty called against the other team, and you think, well, we're going to at least get one goal on this power play, and maybe you don't play as hard as you should play, or you would play if it was a 2-minute penalty.
Certainly brought the best out in the Cubs, I'll tell you. They were skating much faster, much harder, and more physical. They controlled the puck most of the time. Willard and Lucente. Cubs win it. Major dumping it to the corner. In a minute 27, the Cubs will have an abbreviated power play. Here comes Baldwin to center. Dumps it in. Strone's going to come out and play it. Gets it past Baldwin, but Dunford throws it towards the net. It was kicked by Peterson, and he'll catch up to that at center, and here he comes. To Rivard, in over the line. Rivard tried to make a move. Peterson backing up the play, still with the puck. Side of the net. Sharp angle shot by Rivard, almost snuck in there, and down the ice it goes. That's icing against North Bay. 5:22 left here in the second. 1-1 the score. Both teams a man short.
Boy, has this second period zipped along, I'll tell you. It's really going along quick. It's been a great second period, and we've got those 2 great guests coming back at the end of the second period.
That's right. Well, one of them's great. I'm not going to tell you who I think it is. You make up your own.
Be careful, he may have a radio.
Here's Piquette in behind the net. Skating it out to center. McLean chasing him. Piquette tried to get by Seaman. He was stopped, and Menard will turn at center. Fires one in. Strone out to play it. Flips it. Gets it up to Zafiris. His pass at center picked off by Piquette. Into Menard. Long shot wide of the goal. Duchesne. Bumped along the boards there by Seaman. Seaman up to McLean. Not out on the line. Oh, now they say it did come out.
Well, close play there, and the linesman was within 5 feet of where the puck was, so I'm sure he had a good look at it.
It did look like it was in from up here, though, didn't it? It looked like he kept it right on the line with the skate, but as you said,
like it could have been, but we're behind the blue line by quite a ways, so it would, from this angle, you'd get a misconception of what it really was. And I only say that because of a number of years of officiating, Jack, and we got to be fair about this thing.
That's right.
What are you laughing about, Andrew? Nothing at all.
Okay, thanks. Just checking. One thing we can be guaranteed, Andrew will laugh at these hockey games. Here's Brown in over the line, turning. Dave Brown dumps it to the corner. Behind the net it goes. Back into the corner. Hodge and Brown. Hodge beats him to it. Fires it around the far side behind the net. Joel pinched in, got caught up with Schuler, and here comes Boucher to center. Boucher with Paquette catching up on the play. There's a wrist shot right on. Strone out to make the save. Goes to the corner. Bain's got Boucher all tied up. He takes him down to the ice, and Sean Scott comes away with it. Ooh, a long pass up for Brown. Just missed him, and Brown's neck protector came loose. He had to get off the ice because if he loses that, that's a penalty.
And Brownie knew it, and he knew that pass was his. He just couldn't take it. Good play. 4:08 left here in the second period. 5 seconds left in the penalty to the Tappers, and the face-off will be to the left of the goaltender Strone in the Cub net. 1-1, the score remains. Dandy hockey game, and we're looking for a dandy series.
Ringler on the draw against the first. Gets in by the Trappers, right in front of the net it goes. Penalty to the North Bay now over. There's an abbreviated power play for the Cubs. Innes touches it. They say it was knocked down with a high stick, so they'll bring it back to the center ice area.
I guess we shouldn't have said anything about the puck not bouncing too much tonight, because as soon as we said that, Jack, you mentioned it, and gee, the darn thing's bouncing around quite a bit there now.
Yeah, they're having a tough time controlling it.
But it certainly hasn't slowed the tempo of the game down. The tempo's there, the intensity's there, and this is what we wanted to see, and this is what we're seeing.
And the commissioner, I can see him standing behind the net. He's very proud of what's happening. Mr. Commissioner. Big part of our trivia the other night.
Yes, he was.
The smallest part. I understand Mike Cutting had to take 27 phone calls before they got the right answer. There's
He won't be too proud of that.
Peterson at his own line, throws it across to Major. Drops it, here's Miller, and he just missed. Zafiris off the board, throws it in on goal, and Lamont, with no traffic, makes the save and hangs on, and they'll have a face-off to his left, or his right rather, with Lucente and Krieger having a little chat there.
15-11 shots on goal do favor the Trappers here in the second period, and overall the shots are very equal up to this point, because the Cubs did have a 19-14 edge in the first period.
And as we said, the game's different as night and day. We had all kinds of shots and all kinds of goals at this point on Friday night. Just the opposite here tonight. Duchesne against Rivard, and Duchesne's going to give away to who? Is he asking?
Well, he's explaining to the linesman how to drop the puck.
Yeah. No, I probably would agree with him. It's one thing that irritates me in all hockey. They seem to. It's like they want to be on TV or something.
They are.
Right out in front it comes. Cleared away. Menard has it for the Trappers. Play at center. Cleared into the Cub zone. Gibson behind the net. Gets it into the corner. Seaman couldn't get it out. Duchesne will go to the corner with Gibson. Others one-hands it back into the corner. Gibson trying to work his way out. Gets it up, and here's Brown. By Filiatro. Into the corner. Scott knocks his man into the boards, and the puck's underneath the North Bay player. I believe that's Evers, and we'll get a face-off in the Trapper zone.
And I was just going to mention, Jack, that the Cubs need to finish their checks a little bit better in their own end. They're not doing that right now. Scotty finished his check very well in the Trapper end. You saw what happened. He gets a face-off. And the Cubs are not finishing their checks in their own end. And boy, I'll tell you, that can hurt them. You get 1 or 2 shots on goal, and a 1-1 hockey game all of a sudden becomes a 2-1 hockey game.
You get the funny feeling, too, that the way this game's going, that another goal will probably be the last one we'll see.
Could be a biggie.
Here's Schuler coming out of his own zone from the face-off to this. He'll dump it in and chase it into the corner. Schuler after it. Comes to the line, and the Cubs will come out. Zafiris skating it to center. In over the line. Zafiris holds up, tries to get the shot away. He was checked. Now he gets it on the rebound. Lamont had to make the save. Now here's Alexander turning with it. And he bumped off the puck by Boucher. This will take a chop at it. Stays in the North Bay zone. Through the crease area and knocked down with a high stick. And we get the whistle.
2:10 remaining here in the second period. The score remains 1-1. Both teams playing at full strength. And a big crowd in here tonight. We mentioned that before, but boy, it's sure nice to see, reminiscent of years ago, Jack, when you used to have playdowns in different towns, and the fans would follow the team from town to town, and you'd have a crowd like this every night.
Yeah, some of those Cup 54 battles, boy, this place was jammed to the rafters. Scott flattens his man, and he's going to go. Boucher was taken down.
Well, the good players draw the penalties, and Boucher did draw that penalty. Scotty was a little bit aggressive on the check, but Boucher was playing the puck, so Scotty pretty well had to make the play, although he didn't have to be quite as aggressive. A little bit of question mark on that call from the Cub bench, but you have to expect that.
So North Bay will go back to the power play here, and 2:05 left in the period. This will be a big power play for them and a big penalty kill for the Cubs late in the period here. Tied at 1. Krieger and Miller up front. Shore and Peterson out there on points to try to kill this off for the outro. Brings it in, dumps it into the corner. George there, cranks it around the glass, and look out, that went up over top of the glass and had everybody ducking over there.
And let me just clarify that last comment, Jack. I'm not criticizing the refereeing, but if that check had been on one of the bad boys in the league, there very likely wouldn't have been a penalty.
You could be right.
1:54 remaining here in the second period, and the face-off will be to the left of Strone in the Cub net.
Boucher on the draw. Krieger for the Cubs. Cubs win the draw. Joel hustles it. Run behind the net with it. He's cut off. Now he's trying to freeze it in there against Innes. Comes loose, comes back to the point. Paquette dumps it into the corner again. Lucente trying to sneak it in there, and Strone read that all the way.
Cubs a little bit sitting back on their heels right now, and it looks like we're going to get a line change. And I'll tell you, I think it's ready for a line change because the play has been in the Cub end here for the last little while.
They're shorthanded for a minute 33, and there's a minute 38 left in the period.
I think both teams are a little bit tireder now at this stage of the game than they were Friday night at this stage of the game.
And you have to wonder, with the score so close, I bet you caution starting to come into their minds too. We don't want to be the guy that gets caught that makes a mistake and causes the lead goal. So
for sure.
They're very careful with what they do. I know one thing, we've seen the puck iced a lot here tonight, or attempted icings, people just trying to get rid of it. They don't want to make a mistake. From the draw, North Bay will keep it in the Cub zone. Innes in the corner. He's looking to get it back to the far point. Here's and a bad shot there by Boucher, and the Cubs grabbed that and shoot down the ice. Cranked one there and missed it. Lucente gets it up to Boucher. He's got Innes going to the net. There's the pass, and he one-timed it way up over top of the net. Nice play, but he couldn't finish. And it's cleared into the crowd, so we'll get a face-off. Cubs still shorthanded for the next minute, with a minute 5 left in the period. 1-1 our score. Don't forget, Leo Levine, Mike MacArthur, Jim Moore in our second intermission.
And I can tell you, I feel pretty confident that the second intermission interview will be fairly lively. Mike will have a few things to say about the series, about the year, about the season, and probably about the Great North Midget League.
He has something to say about everything, doesn't he? That's why we love him.
That's right.
One of the few guys I know that can say just about anything and get away with it.
He's the boy.
Spears and Boucher on the face-off. Spears wins it. Cuts Boucher off. Does a good job and can't get it out. Neville lets him go. That's well wide of the net. Lucente will pick it up in the corner. Centered it. Innes tried to one-time it. Checked by Zafir. Here's a Neville. Band on the shot. Boucher in. Oh, and he centered it. And Lucente was all tied up, and it went right through the crease. Oh, and Filiatro loses it at the line. It goes down the ice. The mud out the play. Krieger trying to get to it. Cut off by the North Bay player. They go into the net, and it comes off, and we'll get a face-off.
Face-off will be outside the blue line because the net was taken off its moorings, and Krieger was causing the problem there. And Krieger made a good play, actually. He caused that stoppage in play. That doesn't hurt the Cubs at this point because we've only got 37 seconds left, 32 seconds left in the penalty, and they're quite happy to slow it down a little bit.
For sure. So very interesting 37 seconds left here. What can happen? Duchesne and Zephyrus on the face-off. Mello. Dumping it in. Major. Turn and fire down the ice. Boy, he's got power in those wrists, doesn't he? Snap that thing. Boucher with Krieger on him. Check. And here comes Hodge. For the Trappers to center. North Bay still with the man advantage here for 12 seconds. Hodge centered it. Duchesne right on. Strone a big save. Bang, bang play. Strone comes through again.
Well, down to 11 seconds left here in the second period. The score is still tied. 6 seconds left in the penalty. And it looks like hopefully the Cubs will hang on because a goal this late in the period with the score 1-1 and the game so close would be very, very big.
Can you say the word overtime?
No.
No? Okay. I won't say it.
I didn't hear you.
Seaman in behind the net. Cubs win that big face-off. Down the ice it goes. Penalties over. There's 3 seconds left in the period, and that'll do it. Oh, Safiris went into the boards hard behind the net. He took a run at the Lodge and missed him. They have a few words.
They had a few words. Well, it was no big deal. I mean, the guy was tight against the boards. He didn't have his back to the play. And I've got the shots on goal here, Jack, for you in the second period. I've got 17 for the Trappers and 12 for the Cubs.
And the Cubs had outshot North Bay 18-14 in first. So very even on the shot department and even on the scoreboard. For you people watching on Cable 12, we'll be back with the third period right after this.
In the shots on goal, the Cubs did outshoot the Trappers in the first period. The Trappers did outshoot the Cubs in the second period. And here we are, dead even. The score's dead even. We're raring to go for the third period. And I can tell you, when the two teams come onto the ice, there was a lot of noise in this building.
I think the fans are getting ready for this. And, you know, as Mike MacArthur said, who said earlier, don't be surprised if we see some overtime again here tonight. You got enough tape tonight?
I did, like, lots of tape.
Good stuff. And we don't mind if we're here till midnight tonight, do you?
I don't mind. I'm not going anywhere.
Mike Bear said he didn't mind being
Oh, that's good.
He doesn't mind. We are underway here with period 3. Sean Scott in the corner, dumps it behind the net, comes looking for a quick one here, right on the save by Lamont as Rivard got the shot away and the Trappers cleared out. Cubs going for the kill here early in the third, trying to get that lead. But Luke Lamont comes through again as he has all night. He's only been beaten once. Here's Brown, turning, Rivard, ball shoots, rebound! Oh, and it went wide as Scott took a whack at it. Good play by Rivard there, losing his balance, but still got the shot away. Back to Cubs come again, and now Lucente takes it away. Michael Lucente, whoa, look out, that went up over top of the net, off of Stroney's glove. And out it comes to center, McLean. He goes down, penalty coming up to North Bay.
Well, that's a good penalty if there is such a thing as a good penalty, because McLean was on his way and there was a Cub winger loose. I think it was a good penalty. It was at center ice. Could have had a 2-on-1. Might have saved the goal. 1-1 hockey game. You got to do that, Jack.
Well, the Cubs killed off a big penalty at the end of the second period to keep the score tied, and North Bay is faced with that same situation now to keep this thing tied here early in the third period because they're down a man. Cubs looking to take the lead here with this man advantage. McLean, Zafiris, and Krieger up front. Shore and Joyelle. Shore behind his own net, and Schuler up there forechecking. Ian Boucher up front killing this penalty out. And here comes McLean. Intercepted by Boucher. And Boucher moving it over the line. Weak backhander wide of the net. He's got some nice moves that number 20 does, and he showed it there. Good anticipation. Cubs will have to be careful. Here comes Krieger. He's got some good moves too behind the net. Taken off the puck by Hodge. Comes back to the point. Joel slides it along the boards to Krieger. He's knocked down by Hodge. Puck's underneath him. And we're going to get a face-off in the North Bay zone with 1:14 left in this Cub power play. And Robin Boucher, always dangerous, Jim.
Always dangerous, and Robin Boucher is the wrong guy to try and poke check. We've seen that happen quite a few times here tonight, and the Cubs defense has to play him man-to-man. No other way.
Krieger goes to the middle now with Scott and Zafiris on this power play. Still plenty of time left in man advantage for the Cubs. Scott chasing it from the faceoff, dumps it into the corner to Tim Zafiris. Looks back to the point, gets it to Joyelle. And Lucente gets in the middle of that, but he can't get it out. Zafiris is going to get it. Now he loses it, and Lucente turns and fires it down the ice. Joyelle overskates it, and Krieger picks it up, though, to save the day, and he'll come back out of his own zone. Jeff Krieger in over the line, trying to make a move, poke check, knocked back out to center. Zafiris picks it up. Gets it to Scott. John Scott against Hodge, tied up. Centered for Safiris, who was behind him, and Lucente turns the other way. Out come the Choppers, and now here's a breakaway. Mitch Baldwin going right in, and he blasted it. And Strode got the pad down and made the save. 20 seconds left in this Cup power play, but North Bay getting a break shorthanded. And I think Baldwin sort of lost the puck and went too far ahead of him, and then all he could do really was blast it from the angle. But Strode comes through. Good goaltending in this game tonight at both ends. Here's Safiris. North Bay penalty is over, but the Cubs keep it in. Comes right in front of the net, and the Trappers will get it out. Down the ice it goes. North Bay will change. Major flips it high in the air, bouncing puck, knocked down at center. Safiris has it. Gets it to Brown. He falls. And Manello will fire it off one of his own players out to center. Gibson. Ringler out there. Goes to the boards with McLean. Choppers just get rid of it to center. Seaman. Penalty coming up here on the far side. 2 players down. We'll have to see who. Somebody's getting a tripping call.
It's a tripping call for sure, and it goes to number 11, Alexander. But this is not Cubs hockey here in the third period, Jack. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what their instructions are, but they're not running and gunning, and that's the way they've got to play. There's no tempo on the Cub team right now. They're sitting on their heels. I think they're playing too cautious, and North Bay's going to get a break if they continue to play like this.
Well, I noticed what North Bay was doing in that last sequence was cutting off everything in center ice, right on top of the Cub defensemen and the forwards, and Cubs aren't used to seeing a lot of that through the season. But they'll have to find a way to overcome it. They've got the talented players to do it. Here comes Boucher. Speaking of talented players, gets around his man, but couldn't catch up to the puck. Paquette at the line. He'll keep it in. Schuler dumps it into the corner to Boucher. Back to Paquette. Here comes the shot, deflected by Miller. Up over top, the net, it comes in front. Bouncing puck, and Strode reaches out and hangs on with Boucher right there.
Boy, I'll tell you, they can thank Art Strode for the score still being 1-1. The Cubs are back on their heels, and I don't know why. And I just said that a minute ago, and there's a scoring chance. I think they've got to go back to the way they played all year, Jack, the way they played the first 2 periods.
Hard out there now with Scott and Bain. 1:34 left in this North Bay power play. Right from the face-off, puck loose. Evers dumps it into the corner to Boucher. There's nobody in front, so he has to turn away from his man, gets it back to the point. Back along the boards, the Cubs will intercept and get it out and down the ice. 1:19 left in the North Bay man advantage. 15:48 to go in the third period. 1-1 our score. It's been that way since early first period. Evers has to backtrack as he takes the pass at center. Now he just gives it away, and Joel says, "Thank you very much." Fires it down the ice. 1 minute left in the North Bay power play. There's a pass up to Innes off his stick, and the Cubs turn and fire it back down the ice again. Paquette behind the net. Slowly comes, gets it out to center. And again, North Bay just gets rid of it down the ice, right on goal. Cubs doing a good job here. Not much offense from the Trappers. Hodge carries it in over the line. Hodge to the corner, dumps it back. Krieger's going to get there, and he's going to get it out. 26 seconds left in the North Bay power play. Ooh, Krieger almost got away there. Almost stolen. Baldwin, long pass over. Here come the Trappers. Lucente, Innes is in front. There's a sharp angle shot. Strode hangs on as he makes the save.
I bet you Lucente would like to have that play back. He had a bad angle, put there an impossible angle to score, and it looked like, I think it was Baldwin that was wide open about 4 or 5 feet back, would have had a great scoring chance. But you don't have a lot of time to make that decision.
That's
Jack.
true, yeah. He was moving pretty quick too, wasn't he? 12 seconds left on this North Bay power play. From the draw, puck loose in the face-off circle, slides towards the net, cleared away by Strode, chopped off the glass. Hodge at the point, dumps it into the corner. Major pins his man. Innes gets it back to Hodge. He takes a shot right on. Stoney saw that all the way. Penalty to the Cubs is over. So they kill that one off again.
We sure have, and we've got the trend setting in like it did at the start of the second period. The Trappers have 6 shots on goal. The Cubs have 3 here in the third period. There's lots of time left, 14:31 left in the game. The score does remain 1-1. The shots on goal after 2 periods were 31 apiece.
Severus and Duchesne on the draw. Goes to the corner. Major off the boards, high in the air. And I guess the thing went off the ceiling.
Sure did.
That's about as high as it can go in here. It's off the ceiling, right?
You can't get much higher than that.
So they'll do it all over again to the right of Stoney. Severus kicking at it, and Frank moves in, takes it away, and here he comes to center. Jeff Frank in over the line, and a penalty. Interference is the call.
Interference penalty here. And it looks like Menard gets the gate for North Bay. Not a good penalty. That penalty was taken in basically the center ice area. Lots of defensemen back. That's a pretty undisciplined penalty. And if the Cubs happen to score on this, North Bay coach, I'm sure, would be not very happy with that play.
So it's the Cubs' turn to go to the power play here as we go back and forth. One of these times, somebody's going to crack, Jim, and we're going to see a goal.
You're right.
Maybe it's this time. It's Major. Dumps it in. Down the board, Severus. Back to the point of Joyelle. Right in front. Oh, and Lamont comes through again. That was a big save. Cubs still in control in front. Severus. And it rolls just wide of the net. Major blasts one right on, taken away by Filiatro and shot down the ice. Good pressure here by the Cubs on this power play. 1:30 left in the man advantage. Here comes Joyelle, out to Scott. Team captain in over the line, goes to the corner against Schuler, the captain of North Bay. Severus in control, gets it back to the point of Joyelle. Here comes the shot, right on, rebound, Krieger banging away, and somehow Lamont hangs on and keeps it out again.
Well, the North Bay goaltender Lamont was very, very sharp there because the original shot did come loose. There was a rebound. Looked like there might have been a third rebound. It didn't materialize. And Krieger and Filiatro were having a little chat after the play. I suppose Filiatro thought that it wasn't fair to be whacking away at that puck. But it was loose, Jack, and that's part of the game. 1:12 left in the penalty, 13:29 left in the third period. Score deadlocked at 1-1.
Yeah, this is the best chances the Cubs have had in quite some time in this game on this power play. Good chances to score. McLean in there against Lucenti. Lucenti wins it. Filiatro clears it off. Over the glass, off the piping up there, I guess. Heard a clank up there
hit the
somewhere.
pipe a good shot there, and they're going to have to do it all over again. Although it's coming outside. I'm not sure about that.
Maybe that went off the Cubs stick.
Well, it might have, because definitely shot by the Trapper player.
Now the crowd's getting into this. Oscar's Pascal's over there getting them worked up. Cameroon. Here come the Cubs. Seaman, and over the line to Rivard. Into the corner, around behind the net it goes. Brown hustling in there to pick it up. Gets it back to the point to Gibson. Back for Brown along the board. Into the corner to McLean. He's got Rivard in front. Didn't pass it. Decided to hang on to it. Now Brown trying to center it. Puck's loose at the side of the net. And Lamont gets down there and gets the glove on it with 41 seconds left in this Cup power play.
Well, you mentioned it, Jack. The Cubs are coming to life. They're getting more shots on goal now than they were early in the period. I've got them down for 8 shots on goal, and I've got the Trappers stalled at 6. So the Cubs definitely getting a few more shots there now, and they need a goal. They need a goal bad.
Krieger, Scott interferes up front here on this power play. Scott from the face-off. Couldn't get a shot away. Takes it behind the net into the corner on the near side. And he's being checked there. Trapper's trying to play it along the boards, but Scott staying with it. Ferris moves in now, digs it free. Puck's loose. Scott has it. To Krieger. Back to Major. Across the ice board. Joyelle. Back behind the net it goes. Tip to the corner. Mayanello. moving in front, went right out the other side. Puck high in the air, Krieger. Now Lucente moves in, finds an opening and gets it down the ice, and that will do it for the North Bay penalty. As Menard's back on the ice, he's going to stay out there now as he was heading to the bench. So the Trappers kill that off. Cubs had some good chances though, as Jim mentioned. They might have to come up with some key saves. Now Menard, or rather Duchesne, checked at center. Down goes Alexander. Dunford in front of his own net with Krieger on him. Dunford slides it up. Evers checked at the line by Major. He takes over. Dumps it in. Cleared back out to center. Shot right back into the North Bay zone as the Cubs change on the fly. Miller. Seaman on the ice. He dumps it in. Gloves by Lamont. Dropped behind the net for Hodge. McLean in on him. Takes a run at him. To the line. Seaman's going to let it go. Hot shot. Rebound. Blocked at the side of the net. And Lamont makes a save. With McLean standing right there.
Good save again by the North Bay goaltender with 11:28 remaining here in the third period, and we're stalled at 1-1. And Jack, it's been a long time since those goals were scored.
That's right, early in the first period. In the first 5 minutes of the period, those goals were scored. That's the last. Now it looks like Lamont's. Is he hurt or is he just?
I think he's a little tired. He's just going to play and get a little time there. That's a good move. He stopped a lot of shots tonight, good quality shots.
Boucher and McLean on the draw to his left. 11:28 to go, 1-1. Comes loose to the line. Seaman kept it in momentarily, but now come the Trappers to center. Checking very close. Oh, penalty coming up here.
That's an interference penalty for sure.
The North Bay goaltender was heading to the bench on that.
Yeah, that was for sure an interference penalty. The hit was on Jeremy Miller, who wasn't even in the play. Very, very undisciplined penalty. And the Trappers got away with the last one. But boy, if they keep taking penalties like this, it's going to come back to haunt them.
That's for sure. This
11 shots on goal here, Jack, in the third period for the Cubs, and the Trappers with 6, and it was at one time 6-3.
So that last penalty North Bay took, the Cubs got a lot of good shots on goal.
They sure did, and if that continues, they could score the go-ahead goal.
So North Bay short-handed again, as Jim mentioned. Not a good penalty for the North Bay player, Schuler, to take. An interference call at center where he hit the Cup player who was nowhere near the puck. Well, the Cubs came close the last time. Maybe this time in the net. As the puck comes to center, Joel has to skate away from Boucher. Drops it back to Major. He loses it. Backtracks in his own zone now with Innes up there. Gregg dumps it into the corner. McLean or Scott. He turns away from the forechecking of Innes. And Major behind the net. Cubs having a little trouble getting organized here. North Bay doing some good forechecking. Here comes Brown. Hustling in over the line, drops it back. Goes to the corner with Paquette down. Here's McLean coming out of the corner. And he's knocked down. Paquette trying to get to it. Boucher can't get it out. Scott trying to get to it. There's McLean letting it go. Rebound, another shot. At the side of the net and kept out. Now here's Doyle at the point. He's going to walk into one. Oh, what a save by Labatt. Puck still loose though. Cubs in control with this man advantage. Here's McLean to Scott, side of the net. Turns away from his man. Behind the net, McLean comes right out in front, trying to sneak it in there. Puck's loose. Oh, they find a way at it. And it goes wide of the empty net. In front it comes, and it's cleared away. 35 seconds left in this Cup power play. They come close there. Here comes Joel hustling back the other way and over the line. Behind the net he goes. Joel looking in front. Centered it. Baldwin's there. Not out. Rivard moving in. Right in front. Oh, Krieger goes down and can't get the puck shot away. Joel, long drive kicked away by Lamont. Major, another shot here as it was blocked the first time around. Paquette off the glass, high in the air and out. 7 seconds left in the Cup. Baldwin throwing out of the net. He's knocked down by Baldwin. But the puck slides in behind the net with Major. at center. Quick pass up to Rivard and over the line. Drops it back. Safiris is there. Comes in front of the net. Seaman walks in and he falls. And the puck's taken away. And here comes Lucente. And a bad pass. I don't know what he was thinking there. There was a 4-on-2 North Bay break.
I think they were thinking, let's stop this train. I want to get off for a little while and have a rest, because I'll tell you, you talk about action in the Trappers' end. The Cubs had about 7 or 8 dandy scoring chances. Lamont was the whole story. 8:53 left here in the third period, and I'll tell you, North Bay very lucky to still be in this game.
They've got to stay out of that penalty box, as do the Cubs. There's no doubt about that. But the Cubs with certainly more offensive pop through the season. You let those forwards get free like that on a power play, they'll get you eventually. But we're still tied at 1. 8:40 left here in the third period. Who will crack first in this one? Bernard gets it up to center for North Bay. Seaman's there. Back in the Trapper zone it goes. Anello flanks it around the boards. Gets by the Cub player and comes out over the line. Cubs will have to clear the zone. Hodge in behind the net. Turns away from Miller. Hodge back behind the net again. Along the boards to Menard. Gibson pinched in. Couldn't keep it in. Shot to center. Here comes Anello moving up now for the Trappers. Peter Anello tried to center it. Check. After it again in the corner. Ringler in there. He's taken off the puck by Miller. And Miller roughing up the referee a little bit. He was giving him a business along the board.
7:49 left here in the third period, and the score is still 1-1. There's been no change there, but I'll tell you, there's sure been a lot of action, Jack. It has not been a dull hockey game, and people say you got to score a lot of goals to have excitement. Not in this hockey game, you don't.
Well, North Bay's taken 3 penalties in this period, and as I look at your shots, I can see that's been the difference in the shot department here. Cubs had a lot of good opportunities on those power plays, but they didn't score, and credit Luke Lamont for some key saves there.
Absolutely.
From the draw in the Cubs zone, in the face-off circle, look out. Cleared off the glass to center. Here comes Rivard. He's got Brown going to the net. There's the pass. And he's tied up, and Lamont spells out. Oh, and it almost came out to Scott. And Lamont was down, and Scott would have had a great opportunity. Now it's cleared to center again, and Joel slaps at it. Play a little ping pong here, back and forth. Now here's a break for the North Bay Trappers. Oh, rebound, they score. This put it in.
What a big goal that is, and the Cubs defense got caught. The North Bay, there were 2 North Bay players alone in front of the net. No question about that goal. The Trappers go ahead 2-1 with 7:16 left here in the third period, and the shots on goal in the third period, 18 shots for the Cubs, 8 shots for the Trappers, but the Trappers have got the goal so far.
And you talk about goaltending on those Cub power plays. Lamont came through so big and saved his team, and then the Trappers get 1 break after the killing off those penalties, and Stroni made a heck of a save. He was all alone, 2 North Bay players in front of him. He stopped the first shot, but couldn't stop the second.
Well, I don't know what they're talking about, because there were 2 North Bay players in front of the Liskeard net. No question about that.
I think
I'm not sure what they're talking
I know
about.
exactly what he's going to ask him. Was the North Bay player in the crease? Maybe. That's the only thing I can think of. Or did it go in?
Well, I think the only thing they can ask the goal judge is, did the puck go in? The goal judge would have no opinion on whether the player was in the crease or not.
Well, from our vantage point, it did go in.
It sure did.
There's no doubt in my mind.
It sure did.
I think there's no argument there. Maybe they were saying they hit the crossbar and came back out. Hey, can't blame for trying.
Well, you've got to try it. In this kind of a hockey game, the goals are hard to come by. You've got to try it, but the goal is going to stand. 7:16 left here in the third period, and the score 2-1 for the Trappers. They stole 2 points here on Friday, and they could do it again tonight. The Cubs have to come to life.
2-1 Trappers here. As they come back in over the line, here's Schuler, knocked down by McCrank. They fall into the corner. It's centered, taken away by Peterson. And the Cubs have to battle back as they did the other night here. Here comes Safiris. Takes a shot off the North Bay player. That's offside at the Trapper blue line. And you don't want to be standing in front of too many of his shots, I'll tell you.
No, that's for sure. And the Cubs have to pick up the tempo of this game again. They have to get that momentum back. They've had the momentum here in the third period, Jack. No question about that. The Trappers had 2 goals, or two penalties, as you mentioned, and gave the Cubs a lot of shots, but the Trappers got the goal.
From the face-off, Krieger can't bring it in. The linesman in the way there. Keeper dodging him. And it's shot into the Trapper zone again. Stopping it behind the net. He'll come out and play it now. Plays it past Krieger. McCrank can't keep it in. Here's Major at the point. Gonna let one go right in front of the net. Oh, and Krieger was there, but Labutt was quicker with the glove.
He sure was, and that rebound was laying on the ice there. It could have been tipped in quite easily. It wasn't, so the score remains. Just doing a quick count on the shots on goal there, getting ready, but we'll wait a second here and we'll give them to you shortly.
6:38 left in this third period, 2-1 North Bay. Boy, another great finish like we had the other night. Here's Seaman from the face-off. He blasted it wide. Gibson now. It's tipped out to center by the Trappers. Seaman. Hodge off the boards. Miller tied up, dumped in, goes to the corner, and Nello chasing it down in his own zone. He's going to fire it off the boards. Not out, though. And now they get it up on second try, and here comes Baldwin. Checked by Alexanders, and Miller's back here to take the puck away, and back he comes. Jeremy Miller in over the North Bay line. Miller cutting to the net, stops, tried to center it. Still with it, though. He's going to get it back to the blue line to Gibson. Here comes a shot. And the save by Labutt. And Innes will pick up the rebound and clear it to center. Knocked down by Seaman. Here's Hodge. Skating to center now for the Trappers. Cubs changing. Brown on the ice. Bumps him. Goes into the Cubs zone. Seaman behind the net. Ringler out there checking him. And it's cleared up into the crowd.
Well, Jack, I noticed on that last series of plays there that the North Bay team was using 4 men in front of their own net, and they had 1 floater, and that leaves the Cub point men wide open, and they were getting a few shots there. They just didn't hit the net.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, there's nobody leaving this building.
20 shots on goal for the Cubs here in the third period.
The story of this period was Luke Labutt. Going into this period, the shots were even 31 apiece. Bain. Brown from the face-off. Brevard couldn't control it, but Brown picks it up, and here he comes. Dave Brown in over the line, around Dunford. Brown behind the North Bay net, stops, looks in front, centered it. Scott trying to get loose, he's tied up, and here comes Ringler. 3-on-2 North Bay the other way. Long high drive, bluffed down by Stroni, and he's going to hang on. He's got nowhere to let that go. So with 5:09 to go in the third, face-off in the Cubs zone, North Bay with that 2-1 lead. John Viss, the goal. He scored that with 7:16 left here in the third. And I don't know how the heck he and I believe it was Baldwin, never got in there behind the Cub defense.
I don't know either.
Himself, but there they were. Bain can't get away, and he gets it out to center. Shot right back in where Joel takes it, turns off the boards to Brown. Clears it in. Dunford goes to the corner. Brown behind the net. Goes down, but stays with it. Gets it up to Menard. Can't catch up with it. Into the boards by Bain. And it's into the Cubs zone again. Rivard. Long pass up on the left side to Sean Scott. In over the line. Scott digging to the corner. Bumped by Dunford. Has to go back after it. Brown trying to come out in front. And it's cleared away, and John Viss has it. He flicks it high in the air to center. Knocked down by Major. Schuler bats at it. Major's going to get it again. Now he loses it to Schuler. Schuler in over the line. A long high drive. Put down by Stroni. Cleared off the North Bay player, Paquette, into the crowd.
And time becoming a factor here, Jack. 4:06 left in the third period, and that's the Cubs' biggest enemy at the moment is the time clock. And I haven't noticed Andy Brown out in the third period at all, have you?
No. I think it might have something to do with the 4-minute penalty that he took.
It might have.
These things happen. When you get to this point of the season, you just can't do that. And, you know, the North Bay players are in the same boat. They've taken some questionable penalties in this third period that almost cost them. Here's Boucher. Long shot in on goal. Stroni makes the easy save, dumps it off to Peterson. Robbie Peterson. He's had a good rookie season here with the Cubs. Gets it up to Zafiris. He's trying to battle his way past Paquette. Cut off. Lifted high in the air, knocked down by Peterson. Into the corner it goes in the North Bay zone. Hodge knocked down. Here's Krieger behind the net. Krieger dangerous now. Great playmaker in front. Underneath the goaltender. And he's got it. And hangs on.
Well, the Cubs are giving it the old college try, and they're in there, and they're shooting that puck. They're around the net. 3:28 left here in the third period. The Trappers lead this game 2-1. The Trappers lead the series 1-0. So the Cubs are in a big hole here, and they've got to score a goal and put this thing into overtime.
Well, they did it the other night.
They scored 2.
2 in 29 seconds. Vicente can't get it out. Gibson from the point. And it's gloved by Lamont. And he hangs on. Good job by Paquette to get Miller out of the way there in front of the net. So Lamont could see that. And
North Bay seem content to let those Cub point men get the shots, Jack. They've got their guys all around their own net.
I guess they figure their goaltender can take care of that. Well, he did it all year. Not too many nights they were beaten that way. Here the Cubs trying to tie it. Right in front of the net it comes, and it's cleared away. And here comes Menard. Dumps it in. Stroni stops it. Gibson's right there. Now Miller. Tried to get it out. Was blocked. Gibson will skate it out now. Jake Gibson. Fans on his pass. Checked by Baldwin, but dumps it in on a second try. Paquette behind the North Bay goal. A lot of the play has been in this North Bay end this period. But they lead 2-1. Here's Baldwin, a long knuckle high off the glass. Stroni dumps it in behind the net for Gibson. Here's Baldwin, Toynwright scores! Well, that's a heck of an effort by Mitch Baldwin, Jim. He fooled everybody.
He played a very smart play. Art Stroni, I guess, didn't realize that it was Baldwin that was behind the net. And that makes it 3-1, and I can tell you, that's the biggest hole this Cub team has been in a long, long time.
You got it. 3-1 North Bay with 2:41 left here in the third period. So the Cubs in the same boat they were Friday night, down 2 with a couple of minutes to go.
They're being outworked here in the last 3 or 4 minutes of this third period. I think they're being outworked.
So we'll see what transpires here. You know what's great about this game? Just when you think you got it figured out, this happens. Here comes Rivard. Brown going to the net. Knocked down. Comes into the crease. And Lamont's got it.
Well, this could be a long 2 minutes and 31 seconds, Jack. I think North Bay will be very content to stop the play every opportunity they get and just hang on. And why wouldn't they be?
Wow.
But you have to give them a lot of credit. They came in here on Friday nights, and we said that they stole 2 points, and they did. But they came in here tonight, and I'm going to tell you, they played a good hockey game.
They sure did, right from the get-go tonight. It was even all the way. From the face-off, Scott. Now Brown behind the net. Centered it. Rivard's tied up. The puck's sitting there. Everybody's after it. There's a pile-up, and Hunt comes along the boards. Here's Joriel at the point now. Brown, nice move to get by his man. Brown, Scott tried to jam it in. Saved by Lamont. And Duchesne's going to get over there, and he flicked it into the crowd. Good pressure by the Cubs. It's almost as if they have the power play going here the way they're playing.
Yeah, well, they seem to turn it on, and then they kind of sit back a little bit, and then they turn it on again. But they've got 24 shots on goal in this third period. They're certainly putting the effort into it as far as shots on goal, but they can't solve the mystery of Lamont.
Boucher and Zafiris on the face-off. In the north base zone, Zafiris gets it. Oh, and that's saved by Lamont right off the draw. Boy, this kid is playing well here tonight, especially in this third period. The Cubs have had plenty of good scoring chances. But it's North Bay who has scored the 2 goals and lead it 3-1 and 1:56 left here in the third period. In regulation time.
Well, time is a very, very big factor, and the Cubs are going to have to score fairly soon if they really have a chance of tying this game up. They need 2 goals, they need 1 quickly, and then they'll work on the second one.
Face off inside the North Bay line. We'll have to watch the Cub net to see when Stroney will come out. He's still in there. There's a shot off the stick up over the glass. Out of play, so we'll come back out to the center ice area. And with 1:48 left, I would think that Stroney will be coming over there fairly soon.
I think you're right, and I'll tell you, there's nobody left the building here.
No, not even Elvis.
Not even Elvis.
He's still here. On the draw, here's Filiatro for the Trappers. Dumps it into the corner in the Cubs zone. Shot that, comes to McLean. Plays it off Boucher, still in the Cubs zone. Shore backpedaling. Greg just decides to flip it in the air to center. Shot that, here's Peter coming up with it now. Into the North Bay zone it goes, and McLean will chase it. Tried to center it. Comes back to the line. Major's there to keep it in. Fires it along the glass, down behind the net. Zafiris. 1:12 left in the third. 3-1 North Bay. Here's McLean coming out. Scores!
Oh boy, did they need that one. Big goal for the Cubs with 1:07 left. That makes it 3-2. And the goal scorer looks like it might have been Krieger.
I thought it was McLean.
Might have been McLean. Okay, Krieger was getting mugged in front of the net. I guess they thought he was responsible for the goal. And we're going to have a little meeting over here at the penalty box area. Looks like there's going to be a penalty to each team. Krieger will go for the Cubs. Schuler will go for the Trappers. And we'll wind this game down 1:07 with the teams playing short. Well, they won't play short-handed. They're offsetting.
So,
Or they should.
as we said the other night, don't go away because this is never over until it's over in this league, I'll tell you. Especially when the Cubs are playing, because they can score goals, and they've been silenced tonight for the most part, but the final ticks on the clock are not done yet.
That's
Still
right.
plenty of time. 1:07 left. Stroney looking to head to the bench. No, he has to go back. Trappers get it out to center. Major dumps it in. Now he is on the bench. The extra man is on him. It gets by the Cub defenseman. Baldwin knocked down by Joel. And a lot of people look back at the referee there. Now here the Cubs come with the net empty. The extra man on. Into the North Bay zone it goes. They trail by 1. Zafiris still in control. Back to Joel. Oh, he just barely kept that in. Now McLean gets it to Zafiris. He's checked Baldwin. Back to the point it comes Joel. It's right in front. They score!
That's unbelievable. Hard to believe with 21 seconds left on the clock. The Cubs get the tying goal. Just an unbelievable turn in events. Jack called it. He said, you just think you got it figured out, and all of a sudden they score. This building is just going nuts.
Curtis McLean, the hero again. Can you say overtime?
Well, I hope Mike's got that newscast ready.
He does.
Just an unbelievable turn of events. Just when it looked like the Cubs were going to die, bang, they score a goal. I mean, this is just one of the best games we've seen in a long, long time.
2 goals in the last minute and 7 seconds of this period has tied this score. Curtis McLean scored both of them.
Don't go away, Jeff. There's still 21 seconds.
Yeah, there is. What will happen here, as it did the other night, they'll just take a
tight. Cubs are calling a timeout.
You know, they could still, you heard the crowd getting into it now.
I think that's a smart move. Call a timeout, get these guys settled down. Like, they're really pumped right now. Maybe too pumped. Let's just get them settled down and let's go into the overtime and score the goal in the overtime.
Boy, oh boy, I tell you, these games were as different as night and day, Friday to tonight, but in the end, they are the same, are they not? Exactly the same.
Well,
down 2 with about a minute to go, and they tie it up.
Yeah,
amazing.
And I can tell you what the difference is. The other night, the Cubs outscored the Trappers in the third period by a fantastic margin. Tonight, they've not outscored them, but outshot them. Tonight, they've outshot them by the same a wide margin, but the other night, the Cubs in the second period of overtime did not have a shot on goal. So that's something that we'll have to watch for here tonight.
2 goals in a minute, 25 seconds here. Right here in the third has tied the score for the Cubs. Scott, Zafiris, and Brown up front. Bouncing puck, here's Major over the line, he's hooked. Still in the north wing zone and comes up to this. After Duchesne was behind him. Zafiris back there. Bouncing puck. Duchesne lost a stick, a penalty.
Looks like we're going to get a call here. I think they're going to call them both. Duchesne and Brown are going to go. And I think that's a good call by Poirier. 2 seconds left here in the third period. Let's get these guys settled down. We said that a little while ago, Jack. And Boucher's trying to draw the penalty. No question about that. And I think the Cubs are smart to have a guy on him because he's just too good a hockey player to let him roam around at will.
Down to the last 2 seconds here, so it'll just be a formality. But the face-off is in the Cubs zone. I guess it can be done.
It could happen if I would have a left-hand shot taking this face-off if I was the Trappers. The only chance they got to get a goal would be a left-hand shot taking the face-off. And that's what we've got.
And of course the Cubs will stack that front of the net. They'll have everybody over there cutting off all those North Bay players going to the net.
Well, he just takes that man out.
And he got the shot there. And Stoney had to dive out and make the save. Okay, we'll have about maybe a minute break here as they'll just kind of come to the bench, get organized, and we'll just go right out of here with this first 10 minutes sudden death. And for you people watching on cable, don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay, folks. Are you ready? For the second game in a row, we head to overtime. 10 minutes, sudden death. Then, if it's still tied, a 15-minute break, and then 20 minutes sudden death. And on we'll go from there. But this could be decided in this 10-minute session. There's no doubt about that.
Well, they're anxious. They're ready to go. They can't even get the puck faced off here. They're not anxious.
And we are underway in the overtime. Cubs skating it to the North Bay line. Rivard, quick check. Puck sitting there loose. Trappers chop at the center. Duchesne hit by Rivard. Major dumps it to center ice. Filiatro into the zone it goes. Stoney will stop it behind the net for Major. A crank with it. That's it to Rivard. Slides it up for Scott. He's checked. Frank has it again. Dumps it in. Filiatro. Now Rivard steals. Tried to center. Now he does. That's right in front of the net. Scramble. Oh, and somehow the luck kept that out. How did he stop that? Evers can't get out. Joyelle kept it in. It's still in the North Bay zone. Filiatro behind the net. It was almost over, but Lamont said no way. Cubs with the momentum here, there's no doubt. They've got North Bay on their heels. Those 2 late goals. Here's Zafiris in the corner in the North Bay zone. Taken to the boards by Anello. Down goes Lucente. It comes out Zafiris! Stop rebound, and they try to wrap around. It's underneath the North Bay player. McLean behind the net. Tried to get it out to Zafiris, and he was stopped. It's all Cubs here in the overtime. Miller in the corner, into the boards. Down he goes. Zafiris gets it loose. It comes to Seaman. Bouncing puck in front, and Dumping it to center. Seaman takes it. Has to recover. Gets it in, and Ello will chase it back. He gets rid of it to center. Cubs trying to change here. Behind the net goes Anello. Up to Menard, and he'll skate it up for the Trappers. He's caught Gibson flat-footed. Menard and over the line, and down he goes into the corner, and the Cubs will take over, and now a penalty being called.
Looks like an interference call or a holding call. Boy, what a call. In overtime, in the corner, no damage done, and it looks like the penalty goes to
Jake Gibson. Well,
Jake Gibson.
Jake was a little flat-footed there, Jim, and Menard blew by him.
Well, he did, but
he had to recover, and he didn't recover enough. I guess he had to reach out and grab him.
Well, there were two Cubs in there in that corner, so they obviously had the guy covered. I'm not criticizing the refereeing, Jack, but I'm just saying that it's a big call in overtime, this early in overtime, to call that kind of a penalty.
And that's exactly what Krieger's talking to the referee about now as they huddle in front of the net.
Now the problem is, what happens now if you get kind of a little Mickey Mouse break the other way? What happens?
Well, I think the North Bay better be careful with anything they do.
He's going to be looking for one.
That's right. Anything close, it'll be called. So, in overtime, the Trappers will have a power play, and we'll see what happens here. And the Cubs will get it out. Dave Brown. Down into the North Bay zone it goes. A minute 47 left in the North Bay power play. 7:36 left in this first overtime period. Here come the Trappers. Boucher all tied up by Brown. He's not going anywhere. Oh, and Krieger steals one. Krieger getting in there. And he's cut off by Filiatro. And it's chipped up over the glass out of play. 1:26 left in the power play. 7:17 in the OT. 3-3 our score. Curtis McLean, the hero in the third, scoring the 2 goals to tie it.
And Krieger and Brown putting on a pretty nice effort there to try and get through this penalty. We've got Safiris and Scott coming out now. We've got Seaman and Joyal on the point. And the Trappers, Boucher was out there. I'm not sure if he's still out there or not. I'll have a look. Don't see him.
Here's Hodge behind his own net. Gets it up on the wing to Innes. Back for Anello. Tips it up for this. Long shot. Ooh, that was a knuckler that gave Stroni some trouble. Lucente lets one go. Saved by Stroni. They go to the corner and we get a whistle with 1:02 left in this North Bay power play.
Well, the Cubs have had 4 shots here in the overtime. The Trappers have had 1. And Cubs really have had the play here in the overtime. But with this penalty, it could be a big call, and the Trappers are looking for a break.
Lucente on the draw gets Safiris to the right of Stroni. Seaman comes up with it, gets it to the point. Hodge will keep it in. Along the boards, Innes. Back to the point again to Hodge. And he gives it away, and the Cubs will shoot it down the ice. 6:38 left in the first overtime. 45 seconds in the North Bay power play as they set up behind their own net. And now a long pass up to Boucher. 2-line pass. And that will come back inside the North Bay blue line.
That was either going to be an icing or a 2-line pass. One or the other.
Yeah,
Jack, it happened to be a 2-line
right.
pass.
He couldn't catch up to it. There's no doubt about that.
But he's floating around the center ice area, and boy, you got to be aware of this guy.
Very dangerous. And he's the type of player that you don't notice him for a while, and then boom.
Got good acceleration.
He burns it. Krieger in there against Duchesne. Filiatro turning away from his check, gets it over to Paquette. He just avoided Krieger's check, and here he comes. Paquette off of Major's stick, comes to the side of the post. Ooh, and that was tricky there, but Stroni kept it out. So face off with 23 seconds left in this North Bay power play. 6:39 6:14 to go here in the first overtime period.
Play becoming a little bit cautious, Jack. Not quite the same play that we saw most of the game. And in overtime, I guess it wouldn't be, especially when the Cubs are killing off this penalty. And North Bay Trappers are very aware, and they're not going to give the Cubs any breaks at all.
Duchesne and Zephyris on the face-off in the Cubs zone. To the right of Stroni. North Bay still in the power play, but the Cubs win the draw. Joyelle in behind the net with it. Off the boards and out to center. Shot right back in. Comes right back out again. Now Lucente has it. Long shot in wide, and then it come off the glass and off of Stroni's back, and it almost found the net again.
Was that a close play? If you'll remember, the very first goal that the Trappers scored in this game was scored from behind the net, where Joyelle tried to clear the puck. It hits behind Stroni and went in the net, and that was a big goal, Jack.
I wonder what's going through the Trappers' minds. 2 nights in a row now they've had 2-goal leads with just a couple of minutes left in the period, and they've blown them.
Yeah, right.
What goes through your head when that happens? They certainly haven't given up here, but here's Paquette, off a leg to the corner, Menard off the boards, and that goes wide of the goal. Cubs are back at even strength here, but the North Bay Trappers keep it in. Now it comes out, and Menard has it. 5:43 to go in the first overtime period. Joyelle tried to get it out, but now he keeps it in. Drives one on goal. Oh, gee, that was a close one, boy, I'll tell you. That came off the boards again, and Stroni had to watch it.
But the Trappers have been getting a few breaks too, Jack. Like Friday night, they got a few goals that, probably they shouldn't have got, so you have to call those breaks. Tonight, they got the goal that kept the game 1-1 for a long time, probably 40 minutes. That was a bit of a break too, so they've certainly had some breaks. Cubs are not quite as lucky at getting those breaks, or haven't been in this series so far, although they could be later on.
This is true. It can change, as we well know, very quickly. From the face-off, North Bay in control. They try to jam it in. Stroni's got it though as he comes up with Boucher there looking for a rebound.
Well, that's what you got to do. You got to storm the net, and if the Cubs were at the other end of the ice, they'd be doing exactly the same thing. And Poirier's letting them go right now, and we've got 5:28 left here in the overtime period. The score is 3-3, and hopefully we're going to get through this overtime period without a rash of unnecessary penalties.
Boucher and Rivard will face off. Left of Stroni goes to the corner. Major around in the corner to Brown. He dumps it to center. Paquette plays it right back in. This chasing it against Major. They bump. Boucher from the blue line fans on the shot, and Brown takes over. Now he's checked. Loose puck. Here's Boucher sneaking in there, and a good play by Gibson to break that up. Oh, Boucher would have been in all alone. Filiatro back the other way with Rivard chasing him. Schuler now for the Trappers. Long pass over to line. And this arguing with the linesman on that one. What do you think, Jim?
Well, Big Gibber, he saved the play there. I'm not going to comment on the two-line pass. I think Dauber's already commented on it. It wasn't a two-line pass, and they're going to face off at center ice. Hey, these guys are human. They make mistakes.
4:58 left in this first overtime period, and if we do stay tied and we go into the second overtime, we'll head back to the studios with a news update for you in between periods. We'll rest our voices here a little bit. Krieger and Lucente battling for that puck right in the fence, the center ice circle. Now Trappers dumping in. Lucente and Krieger still playing there. Now they're separated. And here come the Cubs. Racing to center is Joyelle. In over the line. Winds up. Staying with it. Shoots. Rebound in front of the net. They jam away at it, and it goes wide of the goal. Seaman lets it go off alarm, and that goes right to Hodge. Evers breaking up the middle. He falls. Puck goes into the Cubs zone. Cubs coming close there. Here's Curtis McLean. Can't get away. Now there's a breakaway pass for Duchesne, and he had to bounce off his stick, and he couldn't catch up to it. Now he's taken to the boards, and down he goes in the corner. Major up the middle for Krieger. He tips it to the line. Ringler right in front of his own bench, kicking it. He's hammered in there by Zafir. Now here's Brown. Brown and Krieger. And that was stopped. Now Zafir's. That's at it. Then it'll come out to center. Here comes Ringler back the other way for North Bay. 3-on-2 in over the line. He's stopped. And back the other way come the Cubs. Lavard and Scott. In over the line. Lavard making moves. Going in. Scott. Scores!
What a play! What a play! 3:37 left in overtime. The Cubs win it with a 3-on-1, and I'll have to say that's the first 3-on-1 we've seen here tonight against the Trappers. They played very, very well in their own end, and the Cubs win it.
Wow. 2 games, 2 overtimes. This series is all tied at 1. We can tell you now for sure there will be a game 3 and a game 4 next weekend in May. And for those of you watching on Cable 12, the final score, the Cubs 4, North Bay 3 in overtime. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you again. And for those of you listening on radio, Jim and I will be back to wrap things up right after these messages. Good run. Had the 12th fastest time.